I've been chilling. I was just working. I ended up staying up hella late last night, doing like basically an all-nighter. Well, not an all-nighter. And so I was I woke up, I got back to work, got like a little walk in, not as long as I would have liked at all. And then came home to start getting ready for the show. I had so much to do for the like I was like, it's gonna be easy. And then when I put on my computer, like it was running slow and I was like, oh God. I hate when that happens. Like when I ever have to like put on my computer to just like do nothing, it's always like super good, like just extremely smooth.
Fine. Yeah.
Then whenever I like need it to like, okay, the day's coming to an end. I got to scan this real quick. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to be working right now.
Yeah.
You should have planned ahead like half an hour for me to start going right. How about you?
Chilling, man. I've been having a fairly productive day, which is good. Jana was kind enough to take Rocky out for me this morning so that I could just get right into it because I got kind of a late start. And just been I found a little Netflix show to keep me company, so I've been watching that. It's called Later Daters. It's about old people going on dates.
Oh, dude, I love dating shows so much.
There's something about them, man, especially I watched Jana and I watched Love is Blind Japan recently. I think I was telling you about that. And they don't always work out, but like there's something about watching two people fall in love that's just really nice, like it's just uplifting. So yeah, but this is also fun because it's just like old people and you're like, damn, what would it be like to start dating in your 60s or whatever,
Are they like, they're mostly like widowed or divorced, right? They're not
a lot of them, yeah,
like they've never had anything.
Yeah, like there's a couple that are have had maybe kids with somebody but they weren't married kind of thing. But yeah, there's a couple of widows on there.
Yeah, I used to love like all the MTV reality shows where there would be like, it didn't matter what they were, like none of the concept was irrelevant as long as like, oh, these two people might date. Like it just like excited me for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, did you remember Room Raiders?
Yes.
I fucking I kind of hated that.
Oh, that was a dating show, wasn't it?
Because the whole idea was they go to everybody's room, they look at like how messy it is, and like it was always like fake messy, where it was like, oh my God, there's a sock on the floor.
Right.
It would be funny because it would be like fake messy. They'd be like, there's a sock on the floor, but they're like, let me break out the blue light, and it's like, oh my God, there's a stain on everywhere. Like they've came all over this room.
I forgot about Room Raiders, dude. That's so funny. Or like Next. Next was a fun one.
I feel like there was one where like you would have to go and like meet somebody's like parents or something. I forget the name of it though.
I don't know if I ever saw that one. There was what up, Tony?
What up?
There was Eliminate. That was like a not MTV, but I think that was like WGN or something, the CW, whatever it was back then.
Yeah, they were one of those syndicated ones like Blind Date.
Yeah. What a time.
Yeah.
So be you, Tony?
Not much. Just working. Watching a little basketball and a little wrestling.
A little sports ball.
Yeah. I'm watching scripted sports ball and I'm watching pro wrestling.
It's weird how you're just so content to be a Trojan horse for the alt-right.
I'm Italian, so.
That's not what he meant. Oh, wait, the Italians weren't the ones that had the Trojan horse, were they? I thought it was like...
It was the Romans, wasn't it?
The Romans had the Trojan horse to get to...
Or was it the Trojans?
I thought it was like a Greek thing. Wait, what was the Trojan horse? It's like,
I gotta look it up.
Like it was Greeks during the Trojan War.
Yes. Right? Didn't they do that in the movie with Brad Pitt, Troy? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In Greek mythology, the Trojan horse was a wooden horse. Well, we know that. Said to have been used by the Greeks during the Trojan War. to enter the city of Troy. Okay.
Well, I'm Greek too, so
You're your own Trojan horse.
exactly.
Who
I'm
did they
Trojan
use?
horsing right-wing shit into myself.
But wait, who were they trying to get into?
The Troy
Oh, the
I guess the
city of
Trojans,
Troy.
right?
Eric Bana.
Would
That was in Turkey. The Turks fell for it. Modern day Turkey. Interesting.
are the people of Troy the Trojans? Is that how that works?
It must be. You know what's like? I feel like that story. It's never enough about how dumb you would have to be like, look at this giant wooden horse. Yeah, come on in.
Damn, it's heavy. Yeah, it's huge, man. What do you think?
I feel like it's usually about the ingenuity to do it, and never about how fucking stupid you have to be to like really buy into it.
Yeah, the Trojans were the people of Troy.
It's too funny. They really wanted to believe they were getting a gift. This is nice of them. They better not so bad.
I got my lighting set up.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty chill, like soft wise. Here, let me turn this one off. And you can see I got that blue. I got that YouTuber blue going.
oh
Nice.
yeah.
There's purple too. I was like, no, I'm not going that deep. But no, I got this nice little lighting setup for making my YouTube videos so I can get better shots of my figures and stuff. And now, like previously, my setup was like, there's a light on the wall over there, but my face is like obfuscated by my Cintiq right here. So now I have a light that's above it, so I'm not just like dark from here down.
Like what I'm doing right now.
I don't know what you're doing.
I got really coming on. Got a light down below, but nothing up top. It's like a ceiling light, but
That's what we always say about you. Nothing, no light up there.
Bruh.
I think I don't have a delay this time.
Oh yeah. The internet? Did you get your internet fixed?
Yep. Well, they
Shit.
came out and did work today for like higher speeds or whatever. So, and that was just some pre-planned shit. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it does seem like there's no echo or not delay. I mean, sorry, I was quickly scrubbing through the Ice Cube album.
Oh
I'm
my
like
god! I'm so excited
putting some of these lyrics in a Word doc real quick.
Can't wait. I've been excited about that all day.
Yeah, I got really excited about the potential future music I could listen to. Like just thinking about like how many bad musicians and how many bad rappers there are that I can really dig into it. Oh man. Pretty.
Oh, let me go share the link.
Oh, nice.
Did you post about it on?
I put it on Bluesky only. I posted on Twitter.
Whoa. I went to Bluesky and somebody had posted pictures of Grace Kelly, and I was like, "Damn,
Was it
who is
Aaron Myers?
that?" I didn't know who she. Like, I don't know her on site, because I'm not old. But yeah, what a babe.
Was it Aaron Myers?
No, it was Comics the Festive Age. It's usually Comics the Golden Age, but they changed their name for the holidays, I would assume.
dudes just posting like cheesecake photos is so innocent now compared to what the internet has become. Like, oh, I like
What do you mean?
picture of Jane Mansfeld. Before I was like, oh, that's cringy. Now it's like, oh, that's cute. He's just a horny guy, you know.
What do you mean? Like, who? Wait, what? When was it cringy but to post that? You mean like?
It kind of always felt a little like creepy and weird to me. I was like, oh, you know, this guy's posting a lot of pinup chicks all the time. And now it's kind of like, oh, at least he's just, you know, he's just a normal dude who's into, you know, posting photos of classic babes.
Like in the timeline of the internet, like it has been downgraded into like just a dude sharing pics of pretty pinup women instead of like, oh, what a weirdo, because it like the bar, you know, has moved.
Yeah, I get that. The Overton window has shifted so far to the right in terms of horniness.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, got a few minutes. I don't think anybody's in chat. I'm not sure if anybody's watching. It might be over. Not that it matters, you know.
No, we got a few people in there.
Oh, we got some people in here?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out. Is it just you guys watching it on your...
Not me.
No.
Are we waiting until...
Yeah, I figured we properly started in like 2 minutes. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're just, you know, general conversation right now. Man, I watched a movie last night called Where No Angels, and it was really good. It was like a Christmas movie with these 3 criminals, and they're all like different kinds of criminals, but one of them's Humphrey Bogart, who was like a thief. Other one was Aldo Ray, who was like kind of a murderer and a rapist. And the other one was Peter Ustinov, this is why I watched it, because he was so great in Spartacus and like hilarious. And this is like a Christmas movie, so they're all sort of like kind of hiding out on the run, and then they meet this family who they're like super nice. They have a daughter who's super sweet, so they want to just naturally kill and rob them, but they're like, wait, maybe let's not. Maybe these people are good. Like, maybe we should just chill out this one time. But then the whole movie is them just going like, oh, I really want to fucking kill and rob these people. It's a pretty good concept. They remade it with Robert De Niro and Sean Penn, but it didn't have the same energy. Like, they're pretending to be priests. They're like, it's like a whole. They might have just as well made a completely different movie. The new title, like, it was a remake so far past the concept, but still kind of fun.
Sounds like a lovely holiday fair.
Yeah, it was made in like, I think the late 50s or something. So like, you know, it was a pretty dark comedy for back then, but it worked. The guy who made that also made like White Christmas. That's Range. He also made Casablanca, the director. Well, I guess we can get going with the show now. Hello, everyone. Oh, shout out to our guy Frush. I was like, oh, nobody's in the chat. Frush says, no, I'm here, dude. He's holding it.
What up, Frush?
Yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. It's episode 3 of New Cool Meat podcast. I'm, I guess, like the primary host because I'm the one who has to set up the stream and like get all the documents on my computer. Ramon Villalobos. I'm here with my 2 good friends, comic artists, legends who are gracious enough to be here with me for 2 hours every Wednesday night. At this time, we hang out at other times, but like at 6:30 specifically. It's Ibrahim Mustafa.
What's up?
And Tony Grigori.
Hey, what's up?
So, you know, last week we kind of were on a whole thing about the Kendrick Lamar album had dropped. We wanted to do a review, and we were talking about Thanksgiving. And you know what? The difference between this show and my old podcast really was how great it was that we'd be able to like do a show with super little preparation. Because when I was doing Mex Flintalio back in the day, it was so fucking convoluted, like time consuming. But I have to read the book, do a ton of research on the artist, the writer, whatever. Then I would have to like create this like analytical framework, a political worldview that's on a comic about like, you know, nothing. You know, it'd be like Youngblood, and I'm like, oh, so what they're saying about American imperialism is this, right? And it's tiring. You know, I would waste so much time doing that. So when we did this show, the beautiful thing is we're like, well, let's just talk about what we would talk about if we were working naturally, but just do it with other people, like in the chat. And then, you know, maybe at some point we'll have other guests on. And it seemed like a very fun idea, low preparation, low effort, really. But even the last few weeks, I feel like I've been doing all this fucking work with like the slideshow, the beloved Jake Paul, Mike Tyson slideshow. You know, last week my Kendrick Lamar album review, I felt like I got much more in depth than we probably expected. And the first week I had all these fucking big theories about gambling and like sports betting and like the sports media, how it's all been sort of consumed by these corporate entities. And, you know, I want to say I was ahead of the curve because I saw the New York Times and The Athletic, they had a big article about what a problem it's becoming. I feel like it's pretty cool that we, you know, I was able to link the other video from like 3 weeks ago. Everybody check it out. We talked about this. Yeah, this week I wanted to just like kind of do something fun, easy, like really easy, but also like something that if people in the chat want to like give their commentary on along with us, it would also be very easy. And it's something everybody already knows about. We're all like people who are watching this, they usually don't come for our sports takes. They don't come for our, you know, music takes. They like us because we're comic book artists, you know? Like, so instead of trying to push that to the very end of the show this week, because I'm like, I'm crunched for time. I was like, hey guys, what if we do a definitive Batman tier list where we do a tier list of all the Batman movies from best to worst? I mean, not like a list, just sort of a tiers, you know? And you guys want to do it. So I figured, fuck it, let's do it.
Now I have a question about the parameters, right?
Yeah.
So we decided we weren't going to do animated stuff, right?
No animated stuff.
Yeah, because you could just go too deep down the rabbit hole of all these DC animated movies that they put out.
Correct.
And then are we there? I had one other question about it. Oh, okay. So we're just like, we should preface too, like this is just what we like about Batman, right? And that's
this is
how
the definitive because we are Batman experts. I don't like Ibrahim. You've drawn Batman in comics, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, in I'm blanking on the name of the book.
Mother Panic.
Panic.
Yeah, it was like he was in like a panel or two, and then but it took place in Gotham, and I drew, you know, all the. Actually, I did draw. I designed a Jason Todd Batman for that book, actually.
Big flex.
And then I did a pinup with Batman in that JPL tribute. Big RIP, John Paul Leon. So yes, I have professionally drawn Batman to some degree.
Me too. You know, look it up. Don't worry about when. Don't worry about where. It was Batman Black and White, not a big deal. You know, it was the Robin 75th anniversary issue, not a big deal. You know, but and Tony, you know, you've been around too. Don't worry. Like he might have drawn Batman. We're not going to say whether or not he did.
It was never. I've been paid to draw Batman before.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
So
people have given me money.
The list of movies that we're going to go over, they're going to be just all of the Batman movies that, based on our, you know, expert opinion, count as Batman movies. So here we go. I'm going to screen share, and here's the tier list. It's beautiful. I think it's a perfect sort of. Here's Keegan Ray. He says, "I feel like y'all should include the animated stuff as an aside, maybe just for fun." You know,
We'll do some honorable mentions with those. How about that? I think that'd be good.
We could do, but I can't put it on the tier list at this point because I'm so locked into these movies. Maybe it's an episode for another day where we do all the animated ones. But the thing is, I haven't seen so many of them, and DC has pumped out so many of them that it's like I don't want to just do like, well, the ones that I've seen, which is like maybe one of them. I think I saw like the Killing Joke one where Batman has sex with Batgirl. I just watched because I was like, why do they do that? So I saw that one, and I saw the Gotham Knights, the Bat anime, the Animatrix Batman movie.
That one is really good.
Yeah, Keegan says so many are ass. Right. So like I would love to. I need to watch them all first. And you know, I'm a little brain broken, so it could happen. Yeah, maybe at some point in the next year, we'll watch all of them. But see, this is the thing, because Keegan says I wasn't thinking of those ones, just the bangers. Here's the thing. I want to do those ones because I want the definitive list. I don't want just like that's why when you look at our list here, we've got some picks that are not on most people's definitive lists, you know?
I think it's also fun because the people who are like, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is actually the best Batman movie, can't, you know, they can get mad now because it's not on here.
I don't know anybody who would say that. There's
Andy thinks that. I know that's an Andy take for sure. And he loves 89, but
what does he know about Batman? Like literally hired me to do one of my Batman things. So here we're going to start out with the first one. Batman 6. Oh, here's our tiers. Here's our tiers. At the very top we have God tier Batman movie. Then very good movie, but we have to be honest. Like it's very good, but we have to be honest that not all these movies are perfect. Some of them have flaws, but they're very, very good, right? You know what? I'll even put two varies because I don't want people to say, "Oh, it's very good." Very, very good.
Yeah.
Right. Then we have mid. It's a steep drop off from very good to mid. Then we have, look, it's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious, you know? And this one we have to be honest. This one we have to be serious of like, that movie's not that good.
What is that second one next to 89 or 66?
That's El Mujer Murcielago. That's the Mexican Batwoman movie. Came out in the 70s. Nobody else was making a Batman movie in the 70s, and the Mexicans, hardworking, entrepreneurial people that they are, enterprising people that they are, said
that's a DEI inclusion, dude.
I don't give a no other of these Batman movies have a Batwoman or a Batman that hot. That's just a fact.
That's true.
Let me look her up.
We were looking at photos last night. It was
Tony's like, "Have you ever seen the movie?" I said, "Look who you're talking to, bro. Of course I've seen the movie. It's not good. It's called Batwoman. Just look up Mexican Batwoman."
Okay.
Look her up. She was a famous Italian actress that moved to Mexico because she was so hot. They were like,
get out of this country.
No, they're like,
hot.
That's the thing about Mexicans. They love immigration. They mix Mexico is a true melting pot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that, what's that like pork meat where they like shave it off the side that comes from like the Middle East?
They don't eat pork in the Middle East.
At some point they did.
I don't think so.
Now I need to look this up. It's Al Pastor is what I'm thinking of, but it's in Mexico, but it originates from somewhere else.
You talking about the way they make like gyros, where they like
right. Sorry,
shave off the
lamb.
This lamb, yeah.
Well, but then they improved on it in Mexico and did it with pork.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yeah, so it came from the lamb shawarma that Lebanese immigrants brought to Mexico, and then Mexicans thought lamb fucking sucks. Pork is delicious. Let's switch it up. Well, the Mexicans, the Lebanese, they became Mexican and they infused their culture. There was no divide. It was a beautiful thing. Shout out to the Lebanese people.
This is an incredible history lesson we're getting right now.
Did you not know about this?
That Lebanese people became Mexicans. I didn't.
When they moved to Mexico, yeah.
You made it sound like they like transmorgified into Mexican people. Like they were
did.
Just, like...
That's what happened. That like the Spaniards did too. I mean, technically they conquered them, but
you know what? I gotta say, this lady is a real babe. I've never heard of this before.
That's right.
I'm looking at. Oh, here's a piece of Tula Lote art of her too. That's pretty.
She
cool.
became Mexican. Do you have her name there?
Maura Monti.
Sophie says, "Damn, what a costume!" And then LOL transmorgified. Yeah, the Lebanese were the original trans. They transitioned to being Mexican. Trans rights are human rights. So, yeah. And then bottom of this list is pure ass. Go back to our to go back to our list. A very beautiful list, by the way. I've never seen anything like this. I'm kind of embracing the upcoming president with the way we're going back to 2016 again, so I'm just going to go back into doing bad Trump impressions again. I already feel it in my bones because I have to hear this motherfucker talk a lot. So, any other questions about the tier list?
No, not from my end.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
let's do it.
I have one more clarification. Was when we do this, I do want to like, what are your factors? What are your criteria for rating these movies, Ibrahim? So I have a question for you guys because I know what my criteria are, but I'm more interested in your guys's.
A big thing for me is like how much of the Batman sort of like lore and general mythos does it incorporate in terms of like, do we see his dual identity stuff, right? Do we see him actually put in work and time as Batman? You know, does he fight people? You know, I guess he fights people in all of them, but in general, like there are things to me that make a Batman story, and the fact of him dealing with being Bruce Wayne and Batman and balancing act is a big part of it for me. And like, so not every movie does a lot of that. And yeah, to me, the best ones do that. So
that's a much stricter criteria than mine. Mine is like, does it look cool? Is it fun? Is Batman in it? That's my criteria. And then like a little bit like, how good is the Batman costume? That's like the
that's like the
kicker of like, yeah. So like in all of these, I kind of want to discuss like the Batman costume because that matters a whole lot.
For sure.
It's sort of like if I'm reading a Batman comic, like does the person draw Batman good?
Yes.
Right. So like it matters as much how good the actor is playing Batman as how good his Batman costume is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What about you, Tony? What's your criteria here?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both. The costume is the main thing for me. Well, not the main thing, but it's a big part of my how I feel about a Batman movie. And also, you know, the action. Is Batman like just killing people indiscriminately? Because I just kind of feel like that's not really in the Batman that I came up with. So you're imposing your own strict criteria of what Batman is to this thing. Okay.
Now so another question. What's up, Alberto? Another question would be, what about when a movie is a movie with Batman in it, right? Like Batman vs Superman or Justice League, right? Those are more of an ensemble thing, especially the latter. And like, so are we judging it based on how much of the movie is a Batman movie or like just the Batman stuff in it? How much of that makes it a good Batman movie? You know what I'm saying?
Personally, I'm taking personally, I'm taking the Batman stuff that's in the movie. Like, how does it hit me? You know?
Yeah. Well, and because for example, like a movie could be like a good movie with Batman in it. Does that make it a good Batman movie or does it make it a good movie with Batman in it? You know, I
can't wait till we find that distinction on this list because I feel like most of the movies that stink, it's like Batman's in it and that's sort of independent of it sucking anyways. And Batman Oh, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Affleck movies.
Yeah, I
'Cause
guess
they're kinda
those more
ass, but
specifically.
Batman is good in it.
Yeah, but also like Batman Returns, like doesn't
Oh,
have a lot of Batman screen time in it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, let's get into it, and then we
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
these qualifications. So first, Batman 66. It's the earliest actual Batman movie. I was going to include the serials, but I thought, well, even though you went and saw them in the theater, even though they were technically on the silver screen, they're like very short. So it's like it's not really a movie. So I didn't include them. I've seen them, and like let's be honest, they were going to be pure ass.
Yeah, I've never watched them. Yeah.
If you want to imagine the serials on here, it's at the very bottom when the pure ass category. So the first one is Batman 66. I personally, I'm inclined to put it on the mid.
That's where I'd put it too. Yeah.
No, I was going to put it right below that. It's still a Batman movie.
Very good.
No, it's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious. That's
right see, I think it's better than that because I like the costume. I like the general tone of it. I like the villains of it, but the thing is, a lot of those villains were like kind of the guys who were like not busy doing other more important things. Like isn't the Catwoman on there not even like the real good Catwoman? Like I don't know. I haven't seen it enough to really have like super strong takes on it. That's why I'm inclined to put it at mid. Like I remember enjoying it when I watched it. I think Adam West is cool. It's funny for the time period or whatever. But like it's just kind of mid. That's my opinion.
That's the movie with the bomb bit, right? Where he's like running around the dock.
Bomb bit, shark spray bit,
repellent, yeah.
All the classic Batman things that people like would joke about. That was in that movie, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think you're both right. I mean, I kind of put it at mid just because it's like it's a movie with a coherent story more or less, and like a beginning, middle, and an end. Like you know, it's well, I think it's fairly well made for what it is. I also haven't seen it in probably 20 years, so
same. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think that this is going to be like tuning a guitar, right?
Yeah, like, we'll probably
put it on mid, or we can put it on the bottom and be like, it's not that, because then we're going to get to some of these other movies that are like ass, or like we have to be serious about them, and like we're going to be like, oh, this is better than those, this is more entertaining than those. But you know what, Tony, one of your criteria that you said was the action in it, and it might be maybe the worst action of all the movies, period.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's I think Tony's right. I think it's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious.
Okay. I won you over.
2v1. I'm a person who respects democracy, respects norms,
Yeah.
Even though I got the red hat on, don't be fooled.
Don't get it twisted.
So next we have
what up? Is it para or para? Because you say para, but to me that reads like Paracelsus. Let us know in the
yeah, give us, is it Payra?
Like Arab?
We're getting Payra money.
Ramon is correct. Okay. It's Payra. No. Para.
Payra sounds like how George W. Bush would say that fool's name. Payra. So next we have the Mexican Batwoman movie, which you guys haven't seen. So you're really, really kind of.
I don't know why it's even
decide.
on here.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's a Batman movie.
What? Okay, let me see.
Wait, just from what I've seen, I put it on God tier, but that's only because I've seen a couple of things.
Yeah, I don't. I got nothing for that. I think.
And here's the thing: is I have seen it, and I want to put it on mid. Because I do think it's better than the other Batman movie.
You think it's better than 66, or?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay.
She wrestles in the movie. There's like there's actually very extended wrestling sequences where she wears the full Batman costume, and it was just like, it's clearly not filmed for the movie. It was just a Mexican wrestling match. What I love about it is the ingenuity of the Mexican people. They said, here's what we have at our disposal: a very hot Italian chick who's going to pretend to be Mexican. We have a bikini. We have a Batman mask. What do we do with this? You might think nothing. They thought Let's make an enduring classic movie
You know
that
what?
people are going to talk about on a podcast.
Sophie has a very good point.
80 years later.
But pull up Sophie's comment. I think she has a good point here.
I don't think it should be on because Batwoman is literally not Batman. Okay, well, I feel like that's a little transphobic. I feel like that's a little bit like essentialism. Like, I feel like that's a little turf coded to say that.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like, gender is a social construct. She is a woman, but she is a Batman. Okay, that's just how I feel. I don't know the science of it. I don't have to get into it. Sophie says you're wrong. Prove it. You can't. You have
a way to figure this out. We got to watch it.
Okay, well here's the thing. You put it at mid. I don't think it belongs on the list. Tony, where are you at with it?
I already stated from what I've seen, I put it at God tier. But
so we're gonna split the difference. You don't want it on the list.
It's got to be mid.
On the top of the list, and I want it at mid. So it's perfectly placed.
Or that's
democracy, actually, baby.
No, because if I'm below pure ass with my where I think it should go, and Tony's God tier, and you're mid, I think it should go. It's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, democracy. You already said it.
It's pretty in the middle. It's compromise.
That's not in the middle though. The middle would be somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna add a new tier. I'm gonna add it right. I'm gonna add it right below. You see, it says new. It's gonna say it's actually not a Batman movie, but she is hot.
All right.
And I think that's fair, right? Because now it is in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So that's democracy, baby. The red hat is controlling remotes. It's not.
No, he's
on. This is how I behave regardless.
Normal.
Sophie
says she's with me now. Okay, see, we reached a compromise. That is the beauty of creating the tier list. It's fluid.
We reached across the aisle.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fluid, but once it's finished, it's locked in. So
Ramon wanted it mid. He wanted it at mid, but he didn't have the votes.
Yeah. I had to go to the parliamentarian. So the next one we have is Batman 89. This is the first Batman movie.
That's God.
Okay, where are you guys at with this?
That's God tier.
That's God tier. Yeah.
Well, I got bad news for you. It won't be, because I personally have not seen that movie in a long time, because in my memory of it, it is mid.
No, so, it's God tier, dude.
I'm just telling you in my... Okay,
I waited in line for an hour to see that movie in 1989. You can tell me it's not God tier?
I don't give a fuck how long you waited. That sounds like a you problem. That's not a Ramon problem.
No, let me tell you why it's God tier.
You were 3.
Because the set design, like the visual atmosphere and language of it, the immersive world of it, the car, it's like one of the greatest Batmobiles ever designed in any medium. Michael Keaton being this like choice of everybody going, what? And then he fucking pulls it off, and now he's like a lot of people's absolute favorite Batman. Yeah, Sophie's with us. Nicholson as the Joker is like the most inspired, like obvious fucking casting choice at that time. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like how like Heath Ledger was in. Whoa, that's a controversial take, Alberto.
That's the only thing that Alberto says it has Prince. That ungod tiers it.
In
to
this
me, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes me want to go above.
In this trio, Prince makes everything better. So we're. But yeah, man. I mean,
no, that's not true. Because Tony was saying that those Prince songs were ass or something the other day.
No.
Were you not? Somebody was
making something up in your head.
Somebody else said that to me, and I was like, "That's a crazy take." I like.
It wasn't me, Doug.
It has the duality of Bruce Wayne in it and Batman. It has an incredible Batcave. Like it leaned into the source material in a way that like a lot of stuff has not done since, until we got into like the MCU movies or whatever.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How good is the action in that movie?
Oh, wow. All right.
of its time, though.
I'm
Of
just
its
asking.
time?
It's just a question. That based on your criteria, how good is the
Hey,
action in that movie?
I
You
would
like that
say
shit?
it's
You like them
I
little
think-
kicks that he does? You like them little weak ass punches he throws?
Let me ask you a question though. Was it better or worse than the Indiana Jones action fight
I'm not-
scenes? I mean, they
hey,
pretty
I'm
much did
comparing
the
it to
same thing where he
Batman
kicks the
movies.
guy when the guy's doing all the sword
Oh
shit.
no,
and
Indiana
stuff.
Jones is much better action. I mean, he's like hanging on the bottom of a truck. He's crawling up it. He's fighting
He's doing
Nazis on
crazy.
top of tanks.
He's doing
running
crazy
through
stunts like
things.
moving his
I'm
neck
talking
left and
fight
right.
scenes. You're talking all of you want
I would say the beginning. I love the beginning of Batman '89 where he's on the rooftop with the thugs. After they steal the purse. Some of the action though, yeah, it's kind of lacking. I would say the action's like a B, but I would say overall as a
B.
movie, I'd make it God tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Cultural
would say-
significance.
But I put a little bit of a chink in your armor.
You did. You put a little down my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
That's all
Yeah,
Ramon
and-
wants.
And here's an unspoken I gave you my 3 criteria. Is it fun? Does it look good? Yes, 100%. Does Batman costume look cool? It looks okay. I like it. I'm not over the moon about it, right? He's short as fuck. It's the shortest Batman we've ever had.
Yeah, but you don't
How am
get
I
that
spo-
when you're watching it. We just know that. about Michael Keaton.
I watched it. I say that's a short man right there.
Oh, okay. That's you really are leaning into your show. I watch. I say it's a short man right there, but I don't.
He's the littlest Batman, the smallest Batman.
He's a batlet. It should be.
I like my Batman taller.
I do like my Batman taller.
Give him some bat heels.
And here's the unspoken 4th criteria that I didn't even tell you guys about, but it's implanted in my mind. Have you guys ever seen the movie Moneyball?
Yes.
You remember the scene where they're putting together the draft picks and they're like trying to decide if they're gonna pick a guy or not, and one of the scouts with an actual very good mind, they like to make him look like an idiot because he wasn't looking at charts and graphs. But one of the smart scouts said, "Well, how hot is his girlfriend?" You know what I'm saying? And
Are you gonna
they
shit on
didn't
Kim Basinger right now?
Oh
That what
wow.
you're doing?
I'm just saying her hair's kind of fucked up in that movie.
Wow.
She's
Wow.
kind of crazy looking.
You're going off of 2024 standards though, not 1989.
No, I'm going off of
that
the
shit
next
was-
movie in this series standard. I'm going off of the movie that you guys made me create a whole new tier list. That chick who was she had self-love. She loved herself. Was much hotter than Kim Basinger.
Kim
Well,
Basinger
she's not
was
even-
a babe, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
Kim Basinger was a babe. I'm not gonna.
Not in that movie. I'll say she's a babe, but in Batman, I'm just not feeling it, and that's all. And it's nothing against it's nothing against Batman himself, except for he's short. He's got kind of a mid girlfriend. His costume could be cooler, and he can't move his neck, and he can't punch good or kick good. So I mean, it's a lot of dings on it. I'm willing to go as a democracy the next step right below it.
No.
And we can
Well, okay, what would
I can
you-
move it up.
What do you rate it without independent of me and Tony? What's your rating?
I'd have to rewatch it.
Okay, then it's God tier.
No, it's not, because I've seen the movie, and I wanted to go mid.
Me and Tony say it's God tier. You say it's mid.
So we'll go to the next row.
I think no, that's not how it works.
What are you talking about?
It's 2 of us think it's God tier. So the average would be above. It would be. We'd need a third. We'd need create a new square.
There's too many squares.
Oh, now I remember what it was about the Prince song that you're referencing. When we were listening to something and it sounded like Bat Dance, like before Bat Dance, and I suggested that Prince ripped it off for Bat Dance. It was like some 80s.
It was like a different Prince song, right?
No, it was like an 80s synth song that had clips from a movie in it, where character lines from the movie dubbed into the song.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like Bat Dance does. So I made a little joke.
So here's my thing. I'll put it at God tier, but it's shaky, and I don't like your guys' reasoning because it should be right here, because I said it is mid, but I'm willing to take a little bit of an L because I haven't seen it in so long, and I've been trying to rewatch it, but I just haven't really given a shit enough about it to do that. Because
Also,
in my mind it's so mid, so why would I bother?
I think too, it's when it came out, that shit was so fucking huge. So it was all over the place. You couldn't escape it. So I kind of feel like that. Sophie says, "Let's watch it."
Which of this movie and Returns, which would you rather watch multiple times?
89.
Yeah, 89.
See, I'd go. Speaking of the next movie, Batman Returns, I'd go probably that one. I'd rather rewatch.
For me,
it's got Danny DeVito. It's got Michelle
Returns.
Pfeiffer.
Honestly, I'm more inclined toward mid for Returns than I am very, very good movie.
What?
That's where I'm at as well. That's where I'm at. I'm right with you.
That's crazy. So wait, you guys are going to make me put this movie, which I think is mid, at the very top. I want to put this at very good, but we have to be honest, Batman Returns. But I have to drag this down to mid. It has to be 2 rungs lower. That's insane.
No, because the two of us are pulling it to mid. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. You were basically saying we're going electoral college. My vote doesn't count at all.
Oh, you want it at God tier?
No, I want it at very good, but we have to be honest. But just based on the math, it has to go at mid.
Yeah.
Right. That's fucking stupid.
If there was a spot between mid and very, very good, then yeah, maybe. But it would be half in mid, half in that one. I remember seeing that movie as a kid and being like, I don't know who's returning, but it ain't Batman because he's barely in this fucking movie. Like, I think the actual runtime.
Wow.
I think the actual minutes of runtime he's in it is pretty on par with 89, but there's just so it's so boring. Like Christopher Walken is boring.
Christopher Walken's incredible.
The Penguin stuff is boring in it.
No, that's great.
No,
Paul Rubens is his nasty ass dad.
It's
great.
fine, but it's like it's a Batman movie.
Yeah, you know what? You won me over, Ramon. Let's move it up. Very, very good movie, but we have to be honest. I'm with you. Let's move it up.
You think the 30 seconds of silent acting from Paul Rubens makes it?
I think just I love Danny DeVito in that movie and Michelle Pfeiffer. I like the Batman stuff. I could care less about, which I think makes me feel like it's mid. But then reflecting on it, those are my favorite villains in any of the Batman movies. So
here's why that movie's smart. The fact that Batman is short, had an ugly girlfriend, can't move his neck, can't move really at all, is one of the weakest Batman we've ever seen. It masks that by barely having Batman on screen. So,
but all of that is true,
and it threw Kim Basinger way the fuck out there. So
all of that is true in this movie, though. So, like, if that drags down 89 for you, it doesn't make sense that this one is better, even though it still has all that stuff.
No, it doesn't have this stuff. Is what I'm saying. It's better because it's like, let's just do away with all the bullshit. Okay, Tim Burton's like, I'm gonna make a Tim Burton movie. I'm not gonna try to make a corporate Batman movie. That's not me. That's not my wheelhouse. Too, though. No, but it's not like a Tim Burton movie. It doesn't have his aesthetic. It doesn't have his.
They didn't put any kind of brakes on him.
He put brakes on himself. He didn't believe in himself. And in Batman Returns, he believed in himself, and I believe in that.
I mean, look, I'm fine with it being where it is. I just think it's not as good as everybody is remembering.
It is. I've seen this one recently.
Yeah, me too.
I watched it a couple years ago, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than my memories of the Batman.
I will say I enjoyed it better than I remembered enjoying it when I was younger. Which is probably the last time I had seen it. But that tells you how disinterested I am in that one. Is that like I watched it maybe like for the first time in probably at least 25 years. So.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a nice consensus. Well, me and you anyway on this one.
So next we're going to Batman Forever. This is when, you know, all the stuff that I liked about the Tim Burton movie, everybody else hated about the Tim Burton movie. They said, let's get the fuck out of it. Like, let's get all that stuff out of here. All that Tim Burton bullshit, gone, baby. We're never going to talk about it, think about it again. There won't be comics made about this 20 years later or whatever. That's fucking stupid. We're not going to acknowledge. What we're going to do is we're going to fucking make a good Batman movie. We're going to get a good, tall Batman, handsome Batman, beautiful girlfriend, incredible villains. Everything that was bad about the last 2 movies, they made better. Even the action's better. They had Dawn the Dragon Wilson in this movie. Batman for fucking ever.
Mid.
No! It can't be. And you know what? You're already getting overruled because I know where Ibrahim stands, and I definitely know where I stand. That's a god
That's
tier
God
movie.
tier.
I can't abide
God
Tommy
tier.
Lee Jones in that movie. I just him and Jim
Oh.
Carrey, the two. No, God tier. You can't put it one. I'm dragging it down to at least one slot. You don't
I
have
was
it.
at no, you didn't, because look at where we have Batman,
God.
dude.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, you're
Do
right.
you not know how math
You're right.
works? You don't know how the
Yeah,
fucking
you're right.
precedent works? This is precedent.
Yeah,
We're
you're
acknowledging
right.
precedent.
You're right. You're right. I should have thought about that earlier when I was looking ahead. I didn't have the foresight.
Batman Forever, God tier movie.
The
I protest that, but
the best Bruce Wayne Batman duality of the
I would
three
agree.
so far.
I love his Batman. I have nothing wrong with Val Kilmer. It's the villains that drag it down for me. And
I will
Robin.
say,
But what is
I've-
without you when you gave your criteria? Villains were not in the criteria.
Well, to me, but no, that's part of Batman. To me, is like his villains. I mean, his villains is part of the whole wow Batman.
Because in the criteria you gave us earlier, there was no villains. You didn't even build that up the way I did with the ugly girlfriend thing. I'm like, oh, there's a secret criteria. You just said, oh, by the way, villains matter to me. They
Well,
didn't
it
matter
does.
to you.
To me, it does. It does. To me, it's part of the whole Batman thing. Like the vibe of Batman is his villains. Do they work? You know,
I forgot
You
to
can
mention about
give me
Returns
parts as you
though.
want.
I do love that fucking suit, that Art Deco, like
The suit is
the
fucking
the
beautiful.
suit in Returns is the best of that era, in my opinion.
Oh wait, in Returns?
In Returns, yeah, I forgot to mention.
See, I
that
don't
when we
like
were talking about
the fake abs.
Oh, I love
I
it.
don't-
It's like got that Art Deco fucking building look to it.
Aren't-
I think that's so cool.
Aren't the nipples on that suit too, or is that
No, the nipples come in Forever,
That's
which is what we're talking about now.
yeah.
Right.
I love that Panther suit though. The black suit with the yellow emblem that he wears in the beginning of that with the kind of like gunmetal belt. In Forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love go ahead.
Yeah. I do think that the Batcave took a step down in Forever. It was like way better in the Burton
Love
ones,
that.
but
Love that Batmobile.
I do love that Batmobile. I was not the biggest fan of it, but over time it really grew on me, especially because I just customized like the 112 scale one and like just having it up close and looking at the design from every angle. I was like, this thing's pretty tight, actually. Like
And
it
the
looks
thing
kind of
about-
like a bat's wings like folded on itself, you know?
So sick. And the thing about Batman Forever is I waited an hour for that movie when that came.
That movie, look, nostalgia plays a big part in this one for me because it came out when I was 10 years old. So it's like
I came out when I was how old are you?
39.
Came out when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie. I was in my peak Jim Carrey phase too. The
Right.
Tony's like, that's a downgrade. That's an upgrade. And you know what my other favorite movie when I was 7 was?
Ace
The
Ventura?
Fugitive.
Oh.
Tommy Lee Jones.
That's right. It wasn't. But I loved Tommy Lee Jones at that age. I thought he was fantastic. And I love that costume for the Two-Face. I've drawn it I think a couple of times because I love it so much. I just think it's so swaggy. And hot girlfriends again, like Babe on Babe in that movie. That is Drew Barrymore. Didn't even ignore that. Debbie Mazar.
Is that what, Vivica A. Fox or no? That's it. She's in the next one.
She's in the next one, yeah. Vivica
Yeah.
Fox.
Oh yeah, Fox in that.
Yeah, I also really like the way that, like, if you look at that movie through the lens of like a more modern take on the 66 Batman, like it's kind of fun, you know, like
Yeah.
like the angles and the Dutch angles and shit like that, and the music and just the sort of like dialed up, you know, goofiness of some of it, but still like it takes itself not too seriously, but like just seriously enough in the right moments. I feel like the whole sub thing with Robin, like his
Love
origin
it.
and his parents dying and stuff, like that's really actually very well done. Yeah, I think it's great.
William, you came in. We said
Yeah.
William said I came in the perfect time, a non-sports time. We started this episode out going, listen, people are sick of the sports talk at the beginning of the show. We're not going to talk about that till later, but we will. It's going to be abbreviated sports time today. But today we started out with Batman because we're like, people want to hear about comic shit, so let's just do it, you know. But anyways, yes, I agree with everything you said. I love Robin in that movie. The other thing I love about it is there's like this just dreamlike quality to it where, like, you know, Batman running with the red book, all these feel like these like important symbols. Maybe again, it's because it was like implanted in my 7-year-old brain that this stuff matters. But like the whole like Chase Meridian is like the whole like it's all about like dreams and like how people can be manipulated in their subconscious by media with the Riddler and the duality of man. All this stuff is so much like loftier than I think it ever got credit for, because it is kind of a dumb looking movie. Although it looks actually beautiful. To me, it's my favorite looking Batman movie, just on like a cinematography level. The colors, the lighting, the textures of the costume are fucking,
and there's something really cool
tactile.
about it. Like the well, first of all, the sonar suit that he gets at the end of the movie, that was painted with like a reflective paint mixture. So it's like it looks flat black almost, like in regular lighting, but then like when it picks up reflections and stuff, it bounces color off of it. So in those like rich, you know, crazy greens that they had in the movie, it makes it look so cool. And then also there's something about that movie where whenever it's like Bruce Wayne Manor type stuff, like it just looks like a normal movie, you know, like when he's in the garage with Robin talking about, oh yeah, that's a, you know, classic Indian motorcycle, like, you know, all that stuff. And like, it looks just like a regular scene from something. But as soon as you're in the world of Batman, that's when shit gets neon and crazy and tilted and black light and stuff. And I just think that's a really like cool way to present that information to us, you know?
When I had my moment in the sun, when I drew Batman for DC in the Robin 75th anniversary thing, I told Tamara, the color palette for this comic, I just want it to be Batman Forever. I want those greens, those reds, because like the green is kind of like a weird blue green for Robin's costume. The red was like that weird, like kind of burgundy. I just love that movie. That movie is like in like the lizard part of my brain, a perfect movie. that is literally my favorite Batman movie ever, period.
The way Alberto says the way Two-Face died was really, really cool. Yeah, it was like, you know, Batman kind of uses his own,
he hits him with that coin
crutch against him. Oh shit. What you got? Just a Susan B. Anthony sitting there on your desk?
Nah, bro, I got a JFK RIP to a real one.
Oh, okay.
They did him wrong. In fact, Tommy Lee Jones did him wrong in the JFK movie. Oh, he says, all due respect, love of your sports, though. I did love seeing the Ducks with the Huskies over the weekend. Yeah, I think my Cal Bears went out sad, but go Bears anyways. So that's God tier. What are we talking about? But you know what? This is democracy. So you know what? I want to get a round of applause for democracy. It dies in the darkness.
It dies in darkness. I was going to say, it sounds like a line from the movie. Democracy dies in darkness, Robin.
Okay, Batman and Robin.
Oh, wow.
All right. I'm gonna say it's actually not a Batman movie, but she is hot.
You know what? I'm kind of with you, dude. This is a category I didn't think we were gonna get much use for. But we're using she in like the movie. The movie is
It's like a boat. You know, we always name a boat after a woman, so it's
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'll go. Let's go. All three. We're lockstep with this.
Because like, here's the thing: everybody in that movie's pretty hot. Actually, I think like George Clooney might be the least hot person in the cast, which is kind of crazy. Like, if you had to rank the people hotness to least hot, obviously Bane is at the very top. Then we have Alicia Silverstone. Then Arnold. Yeah, Bane, then Arnold, then Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah, then Uma Thurman.
Then Chris O'Donnell, then Uma Thurman.
Yeah, then Vivica A. Fox, and then
Vivica A. Fox probably above Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah. We need a new tier list for
just of the hotness of the people in this movie.
Yeah. Uma Thurman, did we talk about Uma Thurman in that one?
Yeah.
Uma Thurman is like kind of like below, it's like right above the Clune to me.
Elle McPherson plays his girlfriend in the movie, who just barely speaks. She's just like room candy for the whole time, and she's a world famous supermodel. So
the Clune is just right above the old ass motherfucker playing Alfred.
Michael, go. R.I.P.
Michael, go to the bottom of this list of hotness. Damn, dude. That's crazy. I can't believe I just said that.
You can't do Alfred like that, man.
Ew, that's disgusting.
You know what? We gotta boo me for saying that.
Yeah.
I gotta have respect for old people, dude. That's crazy.
Amazing.
Oh, Alberto says, "Wait, what's that Batman movie before Batman Begins?"
We're about to find out.
That's Batman Dead End,
The fanfic film.
the fan film by Sandy Coyola.
I think that's like a serial. That doesn't.
Well, here's the thing. It's technically a movie. Like when our buddy Brian said he directed a movie, that's like a pretty short film, but it's a movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
I mean, and his is better than this, obviously. I'm just using that as sort of a frame reference. Here's the thing. Here's what Kevin Smith would consider himself something of a Batman expert too, right?
Oh, yeah.
His quote on the poster of this movie says, "An amazing piece of work, possibly the truest, best Batman movie ever made." So who am I to say Kevin Smith doesn't know shit about movies or Batman?
I bought a bootleg DVD at a comic swap meet like style little convention show whatever that had that plus Sandy Calera's World Finest trailer, World's Finest, that had that same Batman with Michael O'Hearn as Superman. That was actually really well done for a little trailer thing. It had Grayson on it, which was the like Batman's dead and which was pretty rad. And it had a couple other little things, and I believe Dead End was on there too. So I watched it like a movie back 20 years ago, like a lot.
Where would you have rated it as a movie now in 2024?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I might put it at like, I don't know. It's hard to.
You want me to tell you where I'm going to give you where my perspective is? It'll help you balance out just to know where the wind is blowing.
My gut is to put it at mid because it doesn't have all the stuff that I want in a Batman movie.
Right.
Like,
it's a short film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I ran into this when I did my rating of the Leatherface movies, and I did the fan films as well. And like, there's some that look really nice, but they have no substance. And I'm like, well, it's better than some of the worst actual Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, but it is not better than actual Texas Chainsaw movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. So I was going to go pure ass because I don't even really like it all that much. I think it's kind of cringe and corny. And I hate the fact that the Predator shows up at the end of it. To me, that's just like, I remember when that came out and my friend's like, dude, you got to see this. It's the coolest Batman thing ever. And I watched it and I was like, that shit sucked.
You know what?
I feel embarrassed watching that.
I really like the design of like there's the simple comic book Batman in it though, and like it's definitely leaning on that Alex Ross visual, which is I'm a mark for that. So like, yeah, for me, I'd say it's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious. I would put it there.
See, I would put it's actually not a Batman movie, but she is hot because I like.
So you're raising it to a Batman movie, but we have to be serious. Because I was going to go pure ass. So
you're saying pure ass. Tony's saying it's actually not a Batman movie.
And this is the perfect placement for it then.
All right.
Yeah. And you know what? Democracy wins again.
Yeah. I feel good about that.
I feel great about it.
Sandy Calera, by the way, I believe he designed the Predator.
Oh,
originally.
Really?
And he also designed the Jurassic Park logo.
No, not true. Chip Kidd did that for the book. He might have ripped it off from the book.
I think he did the dinosaur part of it or something. I don't know. And Chip Kidd did the typography. That might have been the split on that. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But he was also a sculptor at McFarlane Toys for a while back in the day too. So, yeah.
William says, Palpatine voice, I love democracy.
Do it.
Do it. I need to get that soundboard on the soundboard.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, 100%.
The fact that I don't have it.
Beta.
All right, Batman Begins.
I'm going God tier. This is my favorite Batman
movie.
It's my favorite Batman movie. I think it's the best Batman movie.
Tony, where are you going?
Very, very good movie, but we have to be honest.
See, that's where I'm going to, and here's why. And because I want to be fair to you, Ibrahim. The thing that puts it almost at God tier for me is I love that costume more than any other Batman costume, maybe save Batman Forever. To me, it's the second, that one, right? the other problem is similar to your Batman Returns critic. It takes about half the movie to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
waiting the whole movie.
when
I'm
they
like,
do
oh,
get
God.
to it, there's a lot of Batman in it. You know?
Yeah, yeah. He kills people, which I know Tony doesn't like, but
Yeah, I don't
well, he
like
says
that.
I don't
But-
have to save you. I could. I don't.
yeah,
want to.
because he kills people in the Burton movies, and I didn't bring it up because it's
Yeah, I don't think he kills anyone in Begins. Like,
yeah, he just
He
lets him die.
lets him die.
well, but it's like the guy who taught him everything he knows. So it's like, hey, you could do. Plus, hey, you're here because of you, man. You know.
You did this to yourself.
We don't have to debate the ethics of it. The movie is just and here's the thing that also is like it's hard to not measure it against the other two movies, which I think were better movies. They're less disjointed. But like I would have almost preferred that movie if like Christopher Nolan got a little tricky where you saw some Batman earlier on and there's like flashbacks and it's like non-linear. But like having it feel like half and half, whenever I would watch it, I'm just like, don't care about the ninja shit. Let me just watch Batman. But I love the Batman stuff so much.
Yeah, but the ninja stuff is so integral to the character, I think, though, and like it's the only time we've ever seen that given to us in like live action, for like an actual origin for Batman instead of just like it makes his skill level believable, But I get it. I mean, I'm with you. Like it does, there have been several rewatches of that movie for me where I just start it when he gets on the plane in Nepal with Alfred.
Yeah. So you understand, like I'm just like
I get that
I
for
wanna see
sure. Yeah.
Batman. Yeah.
But,
it's like I have nothing against the earlier part of the movie. It's just like I just don't care as much.
Yeah.
And like I want there to be more of a mixture.
I do think it's a better movie though than The Dark Knight, which I love, but I think The Dark Knight is,
I agree.
Yeah, it's just
I agree, and I
overstuffed,
think-
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem with it is I hate that costume. It is my least favorite Batman costume in any of these movies. So that to me, like I love the origin stuff, seeing how he became Batman, the training. I actually enjoyed that stuff. It's just the costume to me. In all those movies, I can't stand. So
I will say the Begins one has grown on me a lot over time. Like I was never crazy about it because, for various reasons, but like being in the action figure world of things, like and seeing the different iterations of it and seeing people improve upon like the Hot Toys version with like custom head sculpts and stuff, like over time I've just really been like, fuck, I love this thing. But I love the way that, a lot of these movies and anytime these properties are translated into like, TV or film, like there's this like weird thing they do where they kind of like apologize for like why it's goofy looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, and they just don't give you straight up like the Tom Jane Punisher movie. He never had a fucking skull on his shirt, right? Like until the end or something. Like it's just stuff like that. They don't give you like the thing that is like the first season of Daredevil. He's just in fucking black the whole time. It's like, dude, put him in the red suit. What are we doing here, right? And I love that Nolan gave you all the Batman stuff and made it like functional, even if it's a little, you're asked to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but like the cape being memory cloth, the tumbler being this like disused, R&D project from Wayne Enterprises, like the cave being this, lower foundation of the house that was used in the Underground Railroad, which is why there's a secret passageway to it. Like I love that he gave us reasons for all of it and still kept it cool and looking relatively like what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And it gave us Ra's al Ghul as a villain, which we had never seen before. Whereas all these other movies generally kind of like, even the latter Nolan ones take villains we've already seen and repurpose them or whatever. So yeah, I think that movie's the best Batman movie we've seen.
You think so you think Batman Begins is the best Batman movie?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. But Tony, you're at mid?
No, very, very good movie, but we have to be honest. Yeah. I don't like armored Batman. I don't like tactical gear. That never did it for me. My Batman is always a guy with a sweater over some Kevlar and like.
See, that's ironic though, because this movie I think is like a better balance between like a fictional Batman costume and one that maybe is too tech oriented, which is what the next two are. Like to me, this one is like right in the middle. It's still very designed, but it's just like, it's just not like they're not worried about the neck moving, and they're not worried about,
Sure.
I think it's just the cowl is maybe my favorite of the cowls. I like the stupid mouth thing. I like everything about it. I love the shin thing, or not shin, the wrist things, like the
gauntlets. Yeah.
I love that shit. I love the different textures on it. I'm a texture guy, you know me. When I ink, I'm inking textures,
Dude, I've been customizing one of my Batman Begins figures because I got this Tumblr model kit to put together to go with it. And I went to the fabric store to try to find like a fabric for the cape that was like dark enough, because they use like a velvet or something.
Yeah, if I was Batman, I would drape myself in velvet every day.
But it just, the suit has a little bit of like not a sheen to it, but it's not glossy, but there's just kind of like it's smooth, rubber or whatever. And then the cape is just like devoid of color. Like it's just this flat black. It looks so fucking cool.
So I love your passion. I can't go God tier, but I want to put it right above Batman Returns. Like just like it's almost here, but it's just not quite.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like in general, these aren't like in order, but in this case, this is in order.
That's my favorite Batmobile too. The Tumbler. I fucking love it so much.
Well, good for you, because it's in the next two movies.
Yeah. Well, it's in the second one for a little bit.
So wait, where are we putting Dark Knight then?
For me, that's very, very good.
Because I'm going to go mid.
Yeah, I'm going mid.
Okay. I'm very good, but we have to be honest on that one.
Yeah, here's why I'm going mid. Is when I saw that movie, mind blowing, sick ass fucking movie. So I love the Joker. But what? Upon dwelling on it within the intervening years between the second one and the third one, I remember going like, wait a minute, was that mid? It was like, wait a minute, what was the Joker doing? Wait a minute, why was he trying to save Maggie Gyllenhaal? You know what I mean? Like, we got to go back to my hidden fourth criteria of like, Batman's girlfriend is not pretty, so like, what are we talking about here? And this is not me being sexist. I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is a beautiful woman, but is she hot?
I'm a fan.
Bruh.
Oh, really?
I remember the hype for that movie was so big, and I went and saw it with my buddy, and then we left the theater, and I was immediately thought that like that really wasn't that good, was it? Like it was very convoluted, very like just convenient in a lot of it, and
I feel like many Christopher Nolan movies, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors at play.
I think
I think that was good, but I don't know.
It was too overstuffed, I think. Like,
yeah.
Like there's just so much happening all the time in it. Like you never really get a chance to kind of catch your breath or like, sit with any of it. But I do really love it. Obviously Heath Ledger was incredible in it. I think the casting's good. Like I like Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent. The scene where the bat pot or the fucking tumbler gets hit by that missile and he has to eject and the bat pod pops out of it.
So sick.
I remember just like erupting in the theater with like laughter and applause. I was so hyped.
When he drives up that wall and shit, and he comes back down. It was
he shoots the semi and the shit goes over and fucking that shit's sick as fuck.
Which they really did, like in the middle of Chicago, So and a great duality of Batman and Bruce Wayne in that one. I love the moment when, but it's tough because it's like this is part of how it's overstuffed. Like the plot, right? Where the guy's like gonna tell who Batman is if Batman doesn't give himself up, and
when I'm watching it,
Bruce Wayne stops. He interjects his car and to save the guy and stuff, and then his little moment with Gordon where he's like, "It's a brave thing you do." He's like trying to catch the light, like what? So, but then you get the whole like, and then the fairies at the end,
right?
And then it's just like, oh,
when Joker just keeps getting away, I'm just like,
yeah,
you motherfucker.
But like that whole scene with
you gotta be fucking stop
the sonar shit with the cell phones and his that's fucking cool when he's like taking out guys in the building and stuff.
I just think it needs to be edited down a little bit. I think Christopher Nolan just like overindulged a bit, and like I love parts of it, but I've maybe seen that the least of all of the Batman movies of Nolan's Batman movies by far, and like I
think
put
my
it
thing
below
about-
Batman Returns.
My thing about that one too is it's like a little bleak. Like
Yeah.
there's no like Begins. You watch it with like you see triumph and stuff, and this one is just kind of like, oh god, like the whole time.
So you wouldn't have a problem with us putting it mid. You're not like that's crazy. It should go
No,
higher.
You're
Like I see your point, but
I think it deserves more than that. But democracy.
Yeah, democracy wins. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's give a round of applause for democracy.
I love democracy.
Okay, so The Dark Knight Rises. So you guys know me. That's God
I'm
tier,
going.
baby.
Yeah,
I tend to agree.
What would you say?
I love The Dark Knight Rises. Like I love that movie. Very, very good. But we have to be honest.
Oh wow. So
I-
Tony, where are you going?
I'm going God tier. One of the best villains, the best fight scene for my money in any Batman movie is the scene where he breaks Batman's back.
I agree with that.
And and I just love that opening with the plane, even though it's kind of silly and the dialogue is kind of weird and stilted, but I kind of love that about it. And I also respect Nolan because in that third movie he wanted to have the Joker in it, and after Ledger died, he had to improvise and come up with something different on the fly, and they came up with that, which I felt was like a really good solution to his problem.
Yeah.
Cast Tom Hardy jacked up and make him go nuts.
Yeah. Keegan says Nolan's 5 acts are wild on first view, but slogs on rewatches. I think I agree with that. Yeah.
I agree with it, except for this one, which I can watch. It's basically like a hangout movie. I can put this movie on at any point in the movie and I'm enjoying it no matter where it is, right? Maybe sitting down and watching all 3 hours, I'm like, that's a little much. But if it's on cable, I'll put it on and I'm like, this is incredible. Whatever I'm watching, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I love Sophie says Bane, all caps. Yes. Sophie also says Bane is also by far the hottest villain in any Batman movie. I probably agree. If we're rating the villains on terms of hotness, it goes that Tom Hardy Bane, then the other Bane, then Michelle Pfeiffer.
I think Anne Hathaway is so
she's super hot in this movie.
Hot in that movie.
Yeah,
she is, and so I really have a thing for Marianne Cotillard as well.
Yes. That movie does
even though she's a little problematic in that movie, she's kind of a little bit like an extremist, but
that might have the higher
subjects.
That movie has one of the higher babe factors for me in any of the Batman movies. I would say.
And Michael Caine, the hottest person in the entire movie.
Look,
it's actually his movie.
Here's my thing about this movie.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the scope of it. I love the triumph of Batman climbing out of that pit. I reference that climbing without the rope a lot.
The greatest. It's one of the greatest moments in a Batman movie. Period. It's the one that tells us something about something.
I think Bane is the scariest villain in any Batman movie, just because he's so formidable and like lacks any kind of like, I mean, the Joker was scary, but like Bane is just like powerful and scary, and like the way the fight scene where like Tony said, where he breaks his back, like I love the dialogue in that when he's like, "Oh, you think you were, the darkness is your ally." All that stuff is so good. Ally. Yes.
In the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
So
I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then, it was nothing to me but blinding.
Dude, the way he snarls blinding is so fucking good, dude. But my issues with it are like Batman isn't in a whole lot of it, which is obviously something that I dinged another movie for, right? And I don't like that it sets up the idea that Batman was Batman for like a year to a year and a half and then just stopped being Batman for 8 years. Like, to me, that just kind of like cheapens all of it. Like, it's like, wait, so he barely did this. What are we even doing here?
I need to quit a shout out to my
Bruce
family.
is super right. Shout out to his family. Will be added to the soundboard immediately after the show.
It used to be on there.
It used to be on there. Yeah. Back in the old days, it used to be on there when I used to use this during our chats. And Para says, "Do you feel in charge?" Yeah.
That's a great Yeah.
Bane, every line Bane delivers, for as much as people complain, oh, I didn't understand it, whatever, it's every line is masterful. Every line is perfectly delivered for the moment in the movie. It's maybe the best. Like, people love the Joker. Bane is the best Batman villain in any movie, and the hottest, we're being told. And Keegan says Socialist Queen, him and her. They, when he died, I cried in that movie.
That movie, that movie makes me cry every time I watch it.
That
None
movie
of the
legit.
Other ones do.
I'm joking about that. That movie legit made me cry in theater. And mind you, I went to the theater thinking I'm going in full hater mode. I went in full hater mode because I had just watched the Dark Knight movie. I'm like, wait a minute, that kind of stunk. Like, that wasn't very good. I didn't like that. It was kind of mid. And then when I went in, I'm like, oh, here we go, more mid shit. And by the end of it, I was crying. I'm like, yo, I can't believe I'm crying thug tears at Batman.
Dude, when Michael Caine is like, I failed you, I like that shit. That got me the first time. And then what really gets me every time is
when they see each other at the end.
Well, even before that, when Batman's about to take the bomb and Gordon's like, I don't even know your name or whatever, and he's like, a hero can be anyone, even someone who puts a child's. And it's kind of a mouthful, especially with that voice he does, but like, just that moment where he's like, he realizes it's Bruce, and then you can just see on Gary Oldman's face, he's thinking back to the time in The Dark Knight when Bruce Wayne fucking intercepted that guy getting smushed in the car with his Lamborghini, and he's thinking back to when he held a stapler to the back of his fucking head and begins, and like, I fucking love that moment. So yeah, it's just those other things keep it from God tier for me, but I'm not mad that it's up there.
If you don't walk around like this after that movie, thinking you're that guy because you're Bane, then I don't know what's wrong with you, dude. Because you should have been.
I love it. No one's mentioned Joseph Gordon-Levitt this whole time,
Because he's whack, dude. I refuse to bring him up, dude. 500 days to shut the fuck up, dude.
I like how they did him in that end of that movie, though, where it's like he goes in and the fucking platform's rising up, and then the movie goes dark.
He was propaganda.
Nice.
He was the Dark Knight, and he was rising.
He left because he realized he couldn't change it from within.
That's true. No, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. He was like Serpico.
I love that.
I still don't think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just love that the next Batman's going to have that accent, whatever accent Joseph Gordon-Levitt was doing in that movie.
Sophie said, "I still don't think Bane died. He just kind of flew out of the frame." That could be true. Yeah. That's a little copium. That's a little copium for the Bane heads. But I'm with you.
A little soapium.
I think I agree. And when Batman left, Bane just created a socialist movement. He retook over Wall Street. He made Batman lose all of his money. Batman wasn't in Paris because he was chilling. He was in Paris because he was otherwise going to be beheaded by the revolution in Central Park. He was going to do what Bernie said he was going to do.
That movie has one of the wildest transitions too, where it's like that team of like government fucking black ops guys show up and they're like, we're here to help, and then it just cuts to them like swinging from the bridge. That was awesome. And it's just like a kind of a quick aside, even it's not even a whole to do about it.
But yeah, at the end of it, when Batman sees Alfred, and he's like, that's what Alfred said, that's all he wanted.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, imagine if that was me and I saw my boy after like going through it, and I was just,
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids
and we have a moment. That would be sick. So that's why it's God tier. But you know what I love about this, by the way, is that our God tier is one movie where two of us voted God tier and one of us didn't. The same with Forever. The same with Dark Knight Rises. That's crazy. That's the holy trinity of Batman movies right there. Yeah. Unless one of these other ones have God tier, which I just don't see it happening. But let's go to the next one. Batman and Superman. I forget what the whole thing's called.
So this one's interesting because there's a director's cut of it that is much better than the theatrical.
Much better.
So I would like to rate it on that and not the theatrical cut.
Okay.
Or do you have both of them on there?
Yeah. No. This is. Yeah. Oh wait, what is this?
That's the director's cut.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I didn't put this part together.
Yeah. So
Somebody
like
else made this, and I supplemented it.
Let's do
So-
both. Let's
Okay,
do
Let's
both.
do both. Yeah, I would put the theatrical cut of that movie as pure ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Well,
listen, I might disagree
no,
because
I'm
I
gonna
kind
say
of liked
it's
it when
still-
it came out.
I'm
But
gonna say it's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious on that one.
okay, because that's where I was gonna go. Because I remember seeing it in theaters and liking it, but then I remember watching it at home and going, "Oh, this is pure ass." I was just caught up in the moment. But I mean, I liked it, so what am I? You know what I mean? With the theatrical cut, you guys are saying is better. I don't think I've ever seen it because I remember
Director's cut, yeah.
watching. Like, is
Yeah.
it like how much better? Is it very, very good, or is it mid?
It's an actual coherent movie,
Oh, okay. Well, shout out
but
to him.
it's not a good Superman movie, right? It's not a good like hero movie, I guess, in a lot of ways. But I would honestly put it at like mid.
Okay.
And see, I would put it as, because it's a Batman Superman movie, that it's not actually a Batman movie, but she is hot, because that's my favorite Batman costume in any of the movies.
Oh wow.
Is Ben Affleck's
Isn't it
Batman
the same
suit.
in the other one after that? The Justice
No,
League?
No, it's a little different in Justice League.
A little different.
Okay. I got to be honest. I've seen both of these, but only like once because I remember thinking like, eh.
Yeah, the
but,
director's cut adds
so
stuff to like some of Batman's motivations to do stuff, and it has like some scenes that really help with like.
Yeah, Clark is out being a reporter and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I have seen it. Which is the one where he fucks her in the bathtub?
It's in both.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
shout out to Snyder then.
I will
And
say,
you dirty dog.
Affleck is the best visual. Yeah.
I believe he's the
I agree
tallest
with
as
you.
well, which I think matters.
Yeah, he's 6'4". I think he's the best visual representation of Batman we've ever seen in a
Yeah.
movie.
I agree.
Okay, so where do you guys want?
I love his
I
Bruce
thought
Wayne,
we should go
too.
mid. Oh wait, no. I didn't see. I might have seen it, but
I'm going mid on the director's cut because I can't say it's a very, very good movie.
Yeah, I also can't say it's very hot either. That's my problem with where Tony wants it. So I'll go mid. Let's go mid. Let's be fair.
Come on, that fucking CrossFit scene? That's not hot?
I don't find
See,
Zionism hot.
I
Nothing against.
Talk about Gal Gadot?
I just don't find the IDF a hot organization, and I think she's a bad actress.
Yeah, she sucks.
I think she's
I did
I think
play
she
Professor
like
in that movie.
puts a massive ding on any movie she's in. Period.
I love the suit in that movie. I love the action scene, despite the fact that Batman is like murdering people. Like, and in the you get why in the story, like because he lost his shit after Robin was killed, basically.
Yeah.
But like I think there's good duality of Bruce Wayne in that, which is a big deal for me. I love the Batcave in that. I love how they changed it up to where like he's not under the old house anymore. He's got this nice like kind of modern lake house that he does his shit at.
You just made me think. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the casting in that movie, like 99% of it. Like I love Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I love Ben Affleck as Batman. What's that?
He's the one guy who he did nothing for me as Alfred.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I can see that. I like him.
You know what movie has Batman in it that we forgot? The Air Suicide Squad.
Oh shit!
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of too far deep into it now,
Yeah.
so let's just pretend that didn't
Shout out
happen.
to it though. At least the Air cut.
You know what? Where are we going to this? Where are we going with the next? With this one right here, with the non-Snyder cut Justice League movie.
The Justice League is gonna go.
I think it's pure ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pure
I think
ass.
that's the because like it's butchered. I'm saying that I don't think I've ever even seen it, but shout out to honesty.
No, it's yeah. Joss Whedon's like he made everybody fucking miserable on the set of that movie.
Yeah, racist.
They cut out a lot of good stuff. Like
Gal Gadot's in it.
He did like ugly reshot scenes for no reason.
When they put out the Snyder cut, which I did see, I remember thinking like, "Wow, this looks pretty sweet." And then I would look up like how the guy looked in the other movie, and I was like, "That's an embarrassment."
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? The Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
He looks so sick in the Snyder cut, and so bad in the other one. Yeah. The thing about the Ayer movie, by the way, too, my guy David Ayer, is like I wanted them to release the Ayer cut because it's like I'm thinking about how fucking sick this movie is, which I want to put at mid. By the way, I don't know about you guys.
The Justice League, the Snyder Cut?
Yeah.
Snyder Cut. I'm going God tier.
What?
I'm going a very, very good movie, but we have to be honest.
I mean, I think that splits the difference there. I think you just bumped it up because I liked it, but I was like, it's super long and it's not worth all the length. But I liked it a lot. To be fair, I feel about it the way I feel about The Dark Knight.
I agree that like fucking Snyder needs an editor, and he would have had one if things didn't work out the way they did, right? It wouldn't have been 4 hours or whatever.
Right.
I love the Batman. I love both Batman suits in this movie a lot. Like I think I prefer. I would say the Justice League suits are my favorite of any Batman movie. I love how, because the first one, like Batman vs Superman, was dope, but it kind of had this like paper mache look to it, where it's just kind of like layers of shit slapped on. I like that the Justice League one had those like armor panels on it, and like it just looked a little more intentional. I like the sleekness of the ears and just like the streamlining of the cowl in that one a lot. And I thought the armor setup was cool, like the tactical suit. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. He kind of carries the movie too.
Like it gives us a better Batman, I think, than like it's a much more like comic accurate Batman, which is not for me the be all end all of these things. Like, but I just think it's a nice like balance of like a heroic Batman on a grander scale than just like in the alleyway kind of thing, I do like analog Batman too. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I guess we're talking about that movie next.
No, we're not talking. Oh, I guess we are talking about it now. Yeah, my thoughts on the Justice League. I think you guys are right about all that stuff. I think Batman is a little bit of an incel in those movies too. Like he doesn't really get with any chicks or anything. I think that's kind of whack.
He does. You don't like, at least in BVS he did. She's like like he wakes up one morning and there's like a woman in his bed. So it's just like implied that like, yeah, he's out here.
I feel like in these movies though, like it's definitely the most washed Batman looks, even more so than The Dark Knight Rises. Like he just got a gray beard. I think that's kind of cool. I love when somebody's at their peak and they're sort of on the way down. They're struggling to put up 10 points a game. They're blaming their team around them again. They're talking about they might have to go to Miami to get some HGH. You guys know what I'm talking about.
LeBron James.
He's the LeBron James Batman. Or maybe the GOAT, but probably not the GOAT. You know what I mean? It's probably still Jordan. That's my feeling about that.
Definitely Jordan.
Yeah. Shout out.
LeBron's 3 after Steph.
Pardon? Oh, after Steph? Wow, that's a hot take. Wow. Hold on, I got to give that a.
Steph Curry's kind of the Michael Keaton
short
of the
short king.
Short, yeah.
Shout out LeBron James for losing 134 to 93 to my Miami Heat tonight.
Oh,
40 point drubbing.
They got beat. That's sick.
Miami beat them by 40 points, dude. It was
number 6 in Miami didn't come through.
No, Tyler Hero fucking hit 7 threes in a row in the third, and that's all I'll say about it.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, now we're going to the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. So I have a complicated relationship with this movie in that I don't think it's good. Keegan Race is so crazy. I don't know what that's referring to, Keegan, but shout out. I don't think the Batman movie is that good. I didn't like it when I watched it. I like it even less when I think about it. I kind of hate his costume. I'm not with Pyra on this one. I kind of feel like his costume is kind of like garbage. It's just like I don't like that he's wearing pants. I don't like the way his mask fits. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like his fucking hair. He's whack, dude. He's a whack Batman.
Yeah,
I don't like his villains. I don't really. Well, his girlfriend's hot. I was gonna say. I was gonna go fourth category. I was like, never mind.
You like the Penguin though.
Oh, I love the Penguin. Yeah. He might be like one of the 4th hottest Batman villains in.
Yeah, I put it at. It's still a Batman movie, but we have to be serious. That's where I would put it.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's fair. It's still a Batman movie.
I don't like
serious.
I think that movie is just not like a good.
I think that's
movie.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just don't think it's a very good movie. Like I
Yeah.
I think visually
I hate his car.
I like the Batmobile in that. I do like that. I like he's
Just
like
a car.
I like the low tech Batman in it. Like it's souped up. It's like he's done a lot of work to it. If you saw what that car was versus what it is now, but like I like that they put a new spin on certain things like the car. I like that his Batcave is like this disused train terminal under Wayne Tower. I thought that was cool. I generally like the suit. I'm not a big fan of the cowl, but it doesn't, it's grown on me. I like Robert Pattinson a lot as an actor. I don't particularly like him for Batman. Like he didn't do anything for me in this role. There was no duality between Bruce and him. Like he's just the same dude in and out of costume. This movie didn't tread any new ground really in terms of so much so that like a lot of the dialogue between him and Alfred is reused from the Nolan Batman movies when he's like, it's your father's name, and like that kind of stuff. And I just like, I thought it was too long. I thought it was shot really nicely. Like I think colors were not great, but the cinematography was really nice. I think
the colors are part of the cinematography though.
But I mean like the shot framing and stuff I thought was really nice. Like the contrast of like, certain focal points within the frame I thought was cool. But like, like the main example I always go to with this movie is the Batmobile chase scene. It was just fucking pointless. Like in Begins, he's trying to save Rachel's life. He's trying to get her back to the Batcave. In this, he's just chasing the Penguin, and he like causes like a 22 car pile up, people probably dying and shit. And then later, he just finds the Penguin at the Iceberg Lounge. Like,
just
I
love
to where
that he does all that. I love
he
does all that, and then he asks him, like he goes there to ask him a question of like he's doing detective work, and then the Penguin's like, oh yeah, that's Spanish for this or whatever. And I was like, oh, so the greatest detective didn't know what fucking another language was?
Yeah.
Moron. And Para is saying, oh, it's because he's been Batman for 6 months. You know what? When I was in the 8th grade, I had a fucking science teacher who was a 5-time girls volleyball champ. Like he coached them, and he had on his wall, winners make commitments, losers make excuses. And I always remember that because they were 5-time champions, and that's not an easy thing to be, to go back to back to back. We didn't even have an indoor gym for the girls to practice, and they practice outside in the rain, dogs, right? So you're making a lot of excuses for Robert Pattinson.
I would say too.
I think you think he's hot. I think you like his hair. You got like One Direction vibes from him. I don't. I'm looking at him as sort of just as a movie. The Nirvana shit sucked. The fucking Ave Maria shit sucked. It is what it is.
Yeah, the Riddler was pretty lame, I thought overall. I like Batman doing detective stuff, but I don't need that much of it,
Sophie says, couldn't she shit in the Batman? Poorly lit, bad cinematography. Paris says XDD. Yeah, because he knows I'm right. Because he knows I cooked. Okay, now the last Batman. We're at the last one. We look at this adventure we've went on. Hold on. This is the last one. Can I get fucking some Phil Collins in the air tonight? Just the Phil. Let's see. I can feel it in the air tonight. I feel. Here's what I'm thinking. Pure ass. Okay, I didn't watch this movie. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see this shit. There's a reason why, because it looked like pure fucking ass. But I could be wrong. What do you guys? You guys saw it?
I'm going mid.
Okay.
I'm going. It's not actually a Batman movie, but she is hot.
Oh wow, you guys like this
for Supergirl, because she was pretty hot in that movie.
Absolute babe, for sure.
Yeah, absolute babe.
I loved all this. Any scene with Supergirl in it, that movie I thought was great. And the rest of it, not awesome. But all the Batman stuff was good too. Like it was genuinely good Batman content. And we got 2 Batmen. We got a really cool Affleck scene, like a chase scene on a bike. And then we got like some cool Michael Keaton action stuff. Well, obviously it wasn't him, but like, when they break into the compound to get Supergirl out, it was a cool fight scene. He's out fighting Kryptonians in the desert. Like it was good Batman, and it was cool to see him come back, even if it was like kind of a shtick or whatever.
Yeah. I will say that Affleck Batman suit in the beginning was so wonky.
That suit's bad. It's
the
really
worst
bad.
Batman suit in any of the movies. It's worse than the Pattinson one. Weird as hell, yeah.
So wait, where do you want it?
I said mid. Tony says it's actually not a Batman movie, but she's hot. And you haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but I'll tell you why I didn't see it. Because then, like, I'm not gonna. Once again, I'll recuse myself, the same way you guys recused yourself from the Batman thing, which you didn't do.
The
You made me
Batwoman?
drop it down below mid. So wait, no, I do get a vote on this. I won't recuse myself because I have serious opinions about this movie of why I didn't even bother watching it. I thought it was cynical. I thought it looked heartless from the jump. I don't like that Ezra Miller did all that shit and we like glossed over it so that we could put out this movie for Warner Brothers stockholders. Didn't like that at all. Didn't like that the fact that they waited until the end of the pandemic. I hated the AI stuff at the end of it from what I saw about it. The whole thing reeked of just a cynical cash grab. And it just was like, a lot of...
Oh, groovy, smashing, yay, capitalism.
And I hate that shit. You know me, I'm anti-capitalist. This is, of all the Batman movies on this list, also not even a Batman movie, which is, I guess, to Tony's point. To me, just from the outside, again, just from a little I saw of it, it didn't look good. It looked like shit. I hated the fact that, they had to, like, switch out the Batman ending so that they could, like, think maybe they could keep this fucking thing going. The whole thing was a shit show. I wanted to keep my hands washed clean of it. The same way I don't eat red meat, I don't engage with things I don't agree with. I didn't want to engage with this movie at all. Made me feel gross thinking about it.
What do you mean switching out the Batman ending? What are you referring to?
Didn't there were supposed to be a different ending and they switched it out so like Clooney was in it or something? It was supposed to be Keaton and they flipped it so that
it was when the different Warner Brothers regimes were coming and going, the movie had like a different ending like 2 or 3 times. I think I had 3 different endings in total or something.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's I mean I'm going just off the Batman content of it because I thought that's what we're doing, but
I saw a clip on Twitter where Supergirl is in the Soviet prison for some reason and they have to bust her out of it. LOL.
Yeah, that was the cool scene. That was like the best Keaton Batman scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's basically Flashpoint stuff.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Well,
it's like an alternate world where Kara came to Earth instead of Clark, and the Soviets found her. So it's a little bit almost like Red Sun too in that respect, but she's kept in this like gulag and they have to bust her out. Yeah, I mean, I think the Batman content in it is good, but I'm not a defender of the movie by any stretch. Like it's not like it was almost a good movie, and then they fucked it in a lot of ways, and the CG was bad.
Yeah,
and
it's really weird, especially at the end, like you were saying with the AI shit.
Yeah, I don't really care where it lands, to be honest. So,
well, you know what? Let's just leave it off the list then. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. It's going to go in the bin with the IR movie. No, I mean, listen, I'm going to save or download this. We're all gonna recuse ourselves from the Flash movie because we don't like the shit they did with that. Batman tier list definitive. New cool meet.
Definitive.
Download the image.
I like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's it. That's the definitive ranking for. If anybody says, "Oh, what is this? Is that a good Batman movie?" You don't have to think about it anymore. We did all the work for you. It's right there. It's fucking. That's a beautiful tier list that we have built.
We are the experts.
We are the experts. Do we want to switch any of these around in terms of like quality? I don't want to even bother fighting with the top row. Let's just say those are all equally good. I feel like feelings will start to get hurt.
I still think Begins belongs up top. I think it's crazy that I think it's objectively the best Batman movie.
Well,
but I'm on record.
Yeah, you're on. Yeah. I'm glad you said you spoke your piece.
Hey, I spoke my piece about Forever. So I mean, this is what it is.
Yeah, but you were wrong. That's different.
Yeah, you were so wrong.
I'm glad I can unite you guys.
Here's the thing. We have when we put the show together, I said, listen, guys, I know this Batman thing is going to run super long. So I was going to make a 7 list. I said, we're throwing that out. I'm not doing that shit this week. We'll do it next week. I was going to read Ice Cube lyrics, and I even put it in the description. I think we should throw that out too. I think we should do Tony's sports thing because that is somewhat time sensitive.
Yeah.
It's a nice piss break for anybody who doesn't care about sports.
Yeah.
But we like to run through it as fast as we can.
Just have it on record. I'll go through them real quick.
Oh wait, well it's How did you do?
I went 8-8 last week. Started out 1-8, and then the last 7 games I won in a row. So it kind of bailed me out from having an embarrassing weekend.
Well, it was free money betting on my Niners, bro. They were fumbling that ball around, so I know that you must have felt good seeing that one was ahead of you. Yeah,
I did. Sunday night when I saw my 7-8 record going into that, I was like, oh, okay, I got this dub.
Now, what does this mean? Because for me, like, I know you didn't do anything, so I don't know what this means. What you're talking about, like,
he's picking on the show what he thinks is going to happen.
I picked the games who's going to win against the spread with the points involved.
Oh, okay. So the when you say 8-8, you mean that each team
he correctly
picked to
predicted
win one,
8,
but not the point spread, right?
No.
Yeah, no. I won 8 games and I lost 8 games. There were 16 games on the slate, and then I got 8 right and I got 8 wrong.
Gotcha. Okay.
If Tony was a degenerate and he bet on these games, he would have broke even if he bet evenly across all of them, which you wouldn't do.
No.
But that's because that's just silly. But so congratulations.
Thanks.
Let's go to the games. We got the Packers versus the Lions.
Lions by 3.5.
It's exactly correct.
All right, I'm taking Lions.
That's dead on. That's tomorrow. That's gonna be a good. I'm watching football tomorrow. I didn't think I was going to, but I thought I was out. They pulled me back in. And then the first game on Sunday, the LV Raiders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay by 5.5.
7.
Oh,
It's the Raiders.
I'm gonna take the Raiders. Give me 7.
You know what?
What?
In my head, I was thinking Tampa Bay 6.5. Just
Were you
wow.
for real? That's crazy. You're getting good at this just by osmosis, just by taking in Tony's wisdoms. Yeah, I to be honest with you, I was thinking give them 10, but I'm bad at this. That's why I don't gamble. That's why I don't partake. I'm just here to read. Okay, sure. Yeah, the Raiders stink. They will continue to stink.
They almost beat the Chiefs.
Baker's that guy. The Chiefs stink. The New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins.
It's going to be Miami by 6.5.
Is exactly correct. You're on the money again.
Right. I'm going to take Miami. You know, I haven't picked them yet this year, and that's
an easy bet because Aaron Rodgers washed, possibly vaxxed. We don't know. And Tua, so Aaron Rodgers believes in fake science, and Tua defies all science and medicine. Because he shouldn't be standing upright these days. The way his brain stem is sort of disconnected from his spine and everything. But
he's a warrior.
Anyways, yeah, it's that thick Samoan skull. Pro wrestling. That's all. Carolina Panthers versus Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles by 10.5.
12.
Wow.
You don't respect the Panthers, and neither do I. So I'm taking that.
I'm taking Philly, given 12 points.
I'll give him 24 points. The Jags versus the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee by 3.5.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to take Tennessee, given 3.5.
Yeah, I don't know who's. It's Trevor's on the Tua saline plan. So
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, give me Mac, baby, Mac attack.
Oh wow!
You're going Mac versus Mayo.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Levis. Levis is the guy in the.
Oh, Will Levis. Oh, okay. I was hoping it was Mayo, but whatever. New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants.
Hey, let me do one before Tony. I want to see how close I get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Giants by 5.5.
No, it's gonna be Saints by 3.
It's Saints by 5.
Damn.
Okay.
You know what? I love this. The next one, I want you to participate. I want you to give just based on vibes. Just based on vibes, names, animals.
Yeah, I'm going Giants by 5 on that one. I think the Giants will cover.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be cold outdoors.
Wait, so you basically picked the same thing I did there.
No. That's why I'm picking to win, with the spread. No, I'm picking what the line is, like the Vegas line.
Right.
What they've set it at.
But then your own personal one aligned with what I said.
If I were to bet on it, I would pick the Giants. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because they're big. Because they're the biggest team. But I mean, the Saints are 5-point favorites. So Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know,
You wanna go
Browns have
Ibrahim?
been having a rough one. I'm gonna say
Very rough.
Steelers by 6.5.
Wow.
Steelers by 10.
Wow. Do you know what, Ibrahim? You just beat Tony. It's the line is 6.
6? Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. You know, I went that high just because Ibrahim picked that number, and if I picked that number,
No,
I
you
feel like
didn't.
I was
Come on.
copying him. Yeah, I wasn't going to copy him, though.
That's crazy.
Hey man, when you're right, you're right. It's all good.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Amazing.
I like this extra layer of me going against Ibrahim and seeing who's
Yeah,
right.
this is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Ibrahim has to go first because he's just basing this on vibes, animals, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Falcons versus Vikings.
I'm gonna give it to Atlanta by 3.5.
It's going to be Minnesota by 6.
It's Minnesota by 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
take Minnesota.
That's the right line. Falcons aren't very good. Kirk Cousins can't walk.
I was watching a show that was filmed in Atlanta earlier, so
Oh,
that's why I did that.
I like hearing the rationale for the pick
love
too.
that.
It's like,
yeah, this is great. This is really good content. I'm surprised that we didn't do this before. This is amazing.
amazing.
The Seahawks versus the Cardinals.
Well, I was born in Seattle, so I gotta go
Oh, right,
Seahawks.
It's gonna.
I'm gonna give it to him by 7.
No.
I'm gonna guess. Wow, this might be a pick 'em. I'm gonna guess Seattle by
you know what?
1.5.
Because the thing is, Eber doesn't know that when a home team is playing, like they usually get 3 points anyways. Like if it's a pick 'em when it's 3. So like Ibrahim's saying, like they're really gonna win by 10. That's awesome. But yeah, the Cardinals are favored by 3.
Cardinals are here by
It's
3.
not
Give me
gonna
Which
Seattle.
means it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not gonna
I'll
happen, but that's nice of them.
I'm taking Seattle plus 3 on that.
You know what I feel about that? Oh, it didn't play.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh, there's a delay. There was a delay. That makes sense that there would be a delay. Okay, the Bears versus the Niners.
Oh wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, hold on a second. Why am I still have this thing up? Let's just go to us.
Niners haven't been looking too good. My boy Brock Purdy's not holding up the. I'm gonna give it to the Bears.
Crazy.
Bears by where are they playing at?
In San Francisco.
Okay,
Santa Clara.
Bears by 10.5.
Hold on a second. Do you know the Seahawks quarterback?
The Seahawks or the Niners?
Yeah, no, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Fucking what do they call him? End zone Willie.
No, come on. Everybody knows it's Matt Hasselbeck.
Obviously.
I'm gonna go
Everybody knows,
Niners. Niners by 2.5.
Niners by 4. They're giving us a full point.
Wow. Okay,
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
why.
go. Give me those points. I'm gonna give those points. Give me the Niners. They're gonna win that game.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful.
Wow, beautiful. Wow.
We'll see. The Bills versus the Rams.
Oh wow.
I mean, my best friend growing up, his dad's name was Bill.
Nice.
And he liked quarter pounders. So
Oh.
I'm gonna give it to the Bills by 4.
I'm gonna say Bills by 6.
Ibrahim, you won again, baby. There, it's Bills by 4.5.
Shout out to
wow.
my guy Bill Smith. Love you, bro.
Big shout out, dude. He just came through in the clutch for you.
Look at the Bills on that game. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
you gotta go with the Bills. That's like the Rams are in a bad conference.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
And
the
it's not like playing in
Chargers-
LA is like a home field advantage or anything.
Right. It might be really bad for them actually. Chargers versus the Chiefs.
I think because the Chiefs still have a racist name, I'm gonna give it to the Chargers.
Hmm.
And we're gonna go by 6.5.
That's Chiefs by 3.5.
The Chiefs by 4. So
That's a racist pick, Tony.
you know what's crazy is like there are 4 at home against the Chargers.
Yeah.
It's a division game.
Yeah.
But you only give the team that's only lost 1 game 1 point in prime
Wow.
time. I don't know.
We're seeing what we're seeing, you know.
I would just pick the Chiefs, and I wouldn't even think twice about it. That's just the way the season's going.
Yeah.
And the Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
Wow, what a shitty game.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, the Bengals were pretty hot in their day, so the band. So I'm gonna give it to them by 3.5.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Bengals by 1.5.
The Bengals by 5.5.
Oh wow. 5.5. All right, I'm gonna give me them Dallas Cowboys getting 5.5 points at home.
No.
Beta.
No. So, wait, hold on. You have a dog of the week.
Oh yeah.
And
my Cujo, my old yeller.
The Cujo and the old yeller. Yeah.
My Cujo is Josh Allen for just being a beast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What a legend.
He is a legend. I can't.
Hey,
I hate him, but I gotta respect him.
California boy. He grew up a Niners fan. I'm rooting for Josh. Everyone knows that.
I have 2 old yellers. One, I have Aziz Al-Shahir, the linebacker for the Texans, who.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Almost killed a guy with an illegal hit.
Almost.
And got suspended for 3 games over it.
This is what what the audience is hearing if they didn't already turn off the program. This is white. What do they call it? Like racism.
Racism? They just call it racism.
This is called racism.
This is called racism. Tony's being racist.
And my other old yeller is the Miami Dolphins. Just put them down. Put them out in Missouri.
Wow.
The whole team.
Disgusting. The whole team.
Okay.
Just put them down. Take
Did
them
they lose last week? Who did they lose to?
The Packers on Thanksgiving.
Oh, right. That was tough.
It was tough. I didn't even watch it. I watched one play. I was at Tim Daniels' house, and he's like, "Hey, man, you know what? Put this game on for you. I know you want to see it." So he put it on right when the punt happened, and the guy muffs the punt and fumbles it. And I was like, "Man, turn that off." Stat.
I'm trying to enjoy my holiday.
Yeah, we turned that off. I didn't put it back on. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, we didn't really have time to go over like what we did on Thanksgiving kind of recap deal. That's too bad. You guys had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's all we need to know. I know. Fucking Ibrahim was like eating the fucking salt, looked like a damn horse.
Look at sodium, man. Watch out, dude.
Jesus.
Sodium beast.
Surprised you're able to fit your shoes on if your feet swelled up from that shit.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Do you want to or no?
Yeah. So, I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 5 years.
Dumb.
And this year we tried for the first time this Trader Joe's non-turkey roast, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like basically made of seitan, I think it's like a wheat thing with stuffing. It's breaded. It was fucking delicious, right? So, as somebody who doesn't eat meat, I'm not preachy about it, but I like to let people know that there are alternatives out there because a lot of people don't know that. I didn't really know what alternatives there were before I made the switch. So I posted on Bluesky like, "Oh yeah, we made one of these this year. It was fucking delicious." And somebody who I like very much, who I'm not going to name, replied and was like, "How much sodium is in that though?" And then another person I like a lot also replied and was like, "Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing." And then it was sort of this like exchange about sodium. And then in our Discord, Ramon was like, "Damn, can't they let you live, dude? Like, what's going on here? Like,
why are you trying to kill your joy?"
Yeah. And then Sophie, unaware of that exchange, was like, "Oh, there's a lot of sodium in those though." And I lost my fucking mind because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, everybody eats stuff with a fuck ton of sodium in it all the time. Your turkey has sodium. You're basting it in fat. You're covering it in gravy with sodium, but there's no nutrition fact label for it to consult, and so ultimately, it led to this big sort of argument, debate / joking thing we had going about sodium. But it was really just frustrating because I'm like, nobody does if I were to post a bacon wrapped steak, nobody's going, bro, a lot of cholesterol in that, man, a lot of saturated fat. Oh, you got to watch out. Red meat can cause cancer. They're just going, oh, look at that, right? If I say I order a pizza, nobody's going, man, like, you know how they produce all that cheese is like they just keep these poor cows perpetually pregnant. And that's how they're able to produce milk so much. And then they take the baby away from the mother. And that's basically like trauma-laced cheese. I'm not saying that shit. Nobody else is saying that shit. But they want to point out that there's a little bit of salt in this fucking thing that I'm eating. And it's like, okay. Like, and, Sophie, she gave me a term for it. It's concern trolling.
Yeah,
and
Sophie didn't come up with that, by the way. That's the thing.
No, I know. But I didn't have that term in my lexicon.
Sure.
So it was a nice, like, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Ibrahim, I gotta say, you sound salty, my dog.
I thought you were going to apologize. I felt like I thought you were going to apologize because you were one of the chief people that was getting on his ass too.
No, I wasn't. I'm not talking to you.
No, but the thing about it is like, and Sophie pointed this out too, and this was my feeling about it too, is like, for some reason, because you're saying it's a meatless alternative, people equate that with you going like, oh, you're being healthy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly, right. Thank you.
Natural Games says Ibrahim is right because I saw that in real time and I was like,
I appreciate that.
On sodium, let Ibrahim live. Yeah,
because I'm not extolling like the health virtues of this thing. I'm just saying this was delicious, right? Like,
you weren't even saying you're eating it every day.
No, and it's like, it's a holiday. Like, we're all fucking pigging out on the holiday if we're lucky,
Yeah.
So yeah,
you weren't saying eat that every day. What you were saying was hold on. What were you saying?
Smoke weed every day.
That's right.
Yeah, I just thought that was a crazy, like, and I don't think the person who originally replied to me going, oh, but is that sodium? I think they were worried. They were saying, I would love to eat that, but I can't eat a lot of sodium.
Yeah.
Right. But it was just like this. It just kept piling on where it's like sodium. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I look at what you eat every day and tell me there's not a fuck ton of sodium in that. Also, like, we're talking in one serving. Like, I'm not eating a whole loaf in a day. Like, it's equivalent to like the amount of turkey you would eat. And I was so fucking mad about it. My wife actually like looked up the different like nutrition facts and did like a cross comparison, and it was virtually identical. The amount of sodium normal turkey. Like turkey with like some gravy on it. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it is what it is. I remember thinking that, going like, that's so funny because like if somebody else just posted a picture of turkey, nobody else would go like, oh wow, that's so great. What's the sodium like on that? It's like you weren't advocating it for. You were just saying that you ate it and it was good.
Yeah, but even if I was like, when I talk about like, oh yeah, I eat Beyond Burgers or whatever, or Impossible Burgers, people love to point out like, whatever kind of like possible deficiency there is. Yeah, and it's like. Okay, I guess you could try to be a better person, but there's a lot of salt in that, so just keep eating your red meat.
William says,
I'm
putting extra salt in my food tomorrow. That's where I was at. I was going in on the salt cells. The people who deny the benefits of salt, and I started dropping legitimate science on the group chat of like, salt is actually really good for you. If you can eat as many of it as you like, it doesn't matter. And they were saying, oh, that's wrong. It's like, okay, well, you're not a doctor. So I've done my own research. My research says salt is fucking sick as fuck. They put it in Gatorade. Salt comes from the earth. You'll eat other things. Vegetables come from the earth too. You're not telling me eating too much vegetables is bad, but salt is bad.
When we talk about a person we like, we go, salt of the earth, that guy.
Yeah. Oh, don't have too much of that guy. No, give me as much of that guy as you can. So let's get to the random issue reviews. How about that? Let's just end this off on a positive note. Get off of the salt content. My issues, I'm starting it out first, is Creature Commandos number 115. Let me present the screen.
Isn't that what James Gunn? Isn't it making that new show or something? Or
oh, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're doing an animated movie of it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know if it's that issue, but Creature Commandos is the.
Yeah, the So my thing is, I love the Creature Commandos. I used to collect Weird War Tales all the time because I just thought this shit was so sick. Like it's a bunch of soldiers in World War II, but they all happen to be monsters, and nobody likes them because they're like, oh, you guys are weird. It's like, well, yeah, I'm weird. I'm a werewolf. I'm a Frankenstein. I'm a Dracula. I'm a Medusa hella randomly. And then there's GI Robot. It's Jake. It stands for
Jeff Johns just did that comic Junkyard Joe. It looks exactly like this guy.
Oh,
is it the same thing? Is it just like his take on
I don't know. I have not seen his
the
thing.
robot guy?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. Shout out to my guy though. The reason I really love this, beyond like I like the concept though, the art is by a guy named Fred Carrillo. He's a Filipino artist. One of my Pinoy legends. He was doing stuff back then. I think this is like in the 70s. I don't have the exact date on this actually. Let me see if there's a indicia somewhere. Came out 82. But he was doing like really cool stuff in these books, like where it's like, you know, the beginning of this, the robot like blows up a ship. He like goes into the water, blows up a ship, and his boy is like, "Oh fuck, man, you're my guy," and he pulls him out and he gives him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, which I think is hilarious.
On a robot?
It's a robot. Yeah.
That's
And they even
crazy.
tell him like the next page is like, "Hey, dude, that's a robot. Like you're tripping." Like, yeah, but I just love like the he has the consecutive panels, but this is like the panel break of like, you know, he would do it all the time where he would just have the shot once, but he would split up the panels a bunch and then have the action flow through it, or like have like a play with the repetition. I feel like he was doing some super sick shit in this. Like just his panel layouts in this book are so good. And so I used to just seek these out, these like random issues of Weird War Tales. And like just look at this shit, dude. Fucking sick. So anyways, he goes and he saves his buddy Jake. The irony is that Jake is like this is Jake 2. He's already had another one of these robots that were his friend die. Got exploded. And so they take him to the hospital, they revive Jake, and look at this fucking sequence right here, dude. That's pure comics, baby. He wakes up and the robot smells the little flowers they gave him.
That's beautiful.
All of his friends are there, happy to see him. His friend Dracula, his friend Frankenstein, his friend the werewolf, his friend Medusa. Then they go out watch a movie together. And in this thing, the robot dates a girl afterwards too. He also blows up a helicopter. Look at how fucking sick this shot is, dude.
That is nice. What was this? 80s?
Yeah, like early 80s. But I love this artist layouts and like you know, this shit, if like some cartoonist did it now, it would be like some indie shit and it would be drawn terribly, you know? But this motherfucker was really doing it in real comics, just like being real creative with his layouts. Beautiful action shots. I like it's like a mixture of like sort of old school pop art stuff with like the war stuff and then like much more modern for like that time illustration for the rest of it. Here's the end where they go to dinner and he puts the Mac on this chick. She's like he doesn't talk, he's a robot, but he still rizzes her up, and they go out and like hang out on this like little balcony together, and she says, "I'd hardly call you the shy American." And he's just like, "Yeah, whatever." Shout out to my guy, right? Jake. Shout out to the Creature Commandos. I don't know what James Gunn plans on doing to ruin one of my favorite comics, just in general. I used to collect these, like I said, and a few years ago, hella randomly, DC put out a collection of these, like a trade paperback, which I got. So I was like, that's so crazy that like super random Weird War Tales got a release. But I guess now it makes a little more sense, because at some point they must have planned like give this a movie. Next is Ibrahim.
Yeah, so my pick was John Byrne's Man of Steel #2. This was, to my recollection, the first comic book I ever had, and it came with an audio cassette that when you played it, it had music and sound effects and voice actors like acting out the dialogue. And so I like learned to read by like listening to it and reading it, you know, along with my knowledge of the alphabet at the time. I think I was probably like 4 when I got this. And what's interesting about this, so it's just it's the second issue in the miniseries, and the first one was like the origin story mixed with like Superman's like first kind of outing in Metropolis, like not in his suit, right? So this is the very last page of the first issue. Ma Kent has made him his suit and he flies off. And then so now we're seeing what happens after that. And so I think if I had gotten that first issue where he's not in the costume, I would have been completely disinterested. But because this was like Superman in Metropolis saving people, doing stuff, this was like really imprinted on me what I like out of Superman. And you know, there's no aliens fighting him or wacky villains or anything. Like the plot of this one is basically like he's going around saving people, doing stuff, cats out of trees type of shit. And then Lois Lane is trying to get his attention, so she like drives her car off a bridge to get him to save her.
What the?
I love this page right here because like Superman like turns down this girl's music with his pinky finger. This little sequence right here where the guy runs into him is so good.
Yeah, I put this in because I thought her fit was so hideous. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Now I don't have an affinity for John Byrne or his drawing at all. Like that part actually does absolutely nothing for me. I like the art in this, but I'm not one of those dudes who's like, oh my God, John Byrne, because it was like my first comic. Like that never really, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about the different artists, but I do really love the art in this. And I feel like a lot of this comic was very formative for me even now, like, you know, the things I've carried forward over the years. So yeah, it's just a fun Superman issue. And, you know, it feels maybe a little Silver Agey. And now that I like know more about that, but yeah, it's just it's a fun, like, look at this. I love that. I remember reading that panel as a kid and going like, wait, so he like bum rushes them and then like must have not done it so hard so that he like killed them, but knocked them out or whatever. And then ran behind them to catch them. Like, I thought that was a cool way to show his speed, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. And he like didn't hurt the woman, which I thought was like commendable.
That's called chivalry. It's not dead.
Thank you, Superman.
And then here's the last page I put on here of just
Lois's
another
fit.
insane fit.
She's got that crazy Shakespeare collar.
Yeah, what is going on with that? That's crazy.
But like, look how classic this all is. Like, it's just very classic Superman. And I, as a little kid, like I loved the Christopher Reeve movies, and this was kind of like, it looked like those in a lot of ways. So to me, it was like a 1-to-1. Like, yeah, this is what the comics like logically would look like, you know? And then as I got older, I found out no, that's not how they all look.
Tony, you're up next.
Yeah, I picked the Sandman Overture #3 by J.H. Williams. Preface this, I never was into Sandman. I know nothing about him. I don't care for Neil Gaiman, never have. But when this came out in 2014, I was following JH on Facebook, and he posted the art, and I was like, I gotta get this book because
he's such a beast, dude.
Yeah, and in this book, he just switches styles, throughout it, and it's just such an accomplishment artistically. It's beautiful. I've never read it actually. I just look at it. I don't give a shit like what's being said because I don't fucking care about Sandman. I don't even. Is that the Sandman? I don't even know. Is that Death? I'm not sure who is what in this. I just know it looks fucking beautiful and sick. I have it right here. It's the only Sandman book I've ever bought. He switches up in this too between like ink washes and this like rendered Mobius style. It's just there's other. I mean, it's hard to pick pages to send to you because every page, every 2-page spread, every page in this is just beautiful.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a great guy too. Like he's from Merced, Northern California, but like a little south of where I live. And I met him like forever ago. Like he was still on Batwoman at the time. And I think me and Craig had just done our first comic. And he invited us, or they invited me to this like store signing that he was going to be at, and then to the after party to hang out with him. And he had gotten sick or something, so he didn't go to the after party. But when I was in line to get stuff signed by him, he was just like so excited because he had bought our comic. And he was just asking me about like self-publishing and, you know, what my plan was to do more in the future and blah, blah, blah. And so like he put out Echo Lands, and it's just an incredible looking comic. Same thing. Like he's just, you could get any J.H. Williams comic. It's going to look like this beautiful, basically.
Yeah, he always does 100%.
Yeah, I mean, look at that shot right there with the demon.
The big guy.
Yeah.
Hey, big guy.
Every page is like this. Like everyone, it's a 2-page spread or pseudo 2-page spread, and it's just the most beautiful art I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's the man. His art in person too just looks insane. Actually, when this came out, it was the first it was the first Image Expo. No, it wasn't the first one. Maybe the first time they did like a keynote speaker thing where dude who runs Image, forget his name. He it doesn't matter what his name is. He he would do like here's all the books coming out or whatever. And then afterwards they had an after party where they had all this work up and it was all like painted and like inked and everything. And it was just like insane to look at in person. And then to like see him be like, dude, that's crazy you did this. he's really, really like fucking a great guy. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to JH. And yeah, so I think we should start wrapping up. We're just about at our time. Thank you everybody that joined us today. I was a little nervous when we started this because, like didn't get much traction on Bluesky, and I figured there's tons of reasons why that could have been, but I was like, oh man, it might just be us here. But people came through. Chat was popping off a little bit.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all being here for sure.
Super appreciate it. I mean, that's the thing is like, you could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. So thank you. Look at Paris says so true. My guy Para.
I was like, yeah, I really could have been anywhere else. Damn.
Yeah, it's like anywhere, but I chose to be here. Sick.
Oh shit. Thank you, William.
And William says back Gregory's KS. I'm in for his variant.
Awesome.
Legend.
Thank you, William.
Most appreciated.
Yeah.
Most appreciated.
Yeah, should we do like the roundup of where they could follow you, what you got going on, what they should check out of yours that's coming out? Tony?
Yeah, you go to Bluesky, Tony Gregory. I have a Kickstarter going right now with Headlock Comics and Gangrel, the legendary WWE wrestler. A book called Friday Night Bigfoot. It's about pro wrestling with a Bigfoot in 1985 Portland. And it's live right now. I think we're like 75% funded or so with like 2 weeks left. So
nice.
We're crawling along. We're going to get there, but it's, it's hard starting a crowdfunding campaign after an election during the holidays. It's kind of been a bit of a struggle, but we're getting there. And thanks to everyone who's backed the book and supported so far. So it's appreciative.
Ibrahim?
Yeah, you can find me on Bluesky under my name, as well as YouTube. That's the primary thing right now.
We'll link down below. It's in the chat.
Yes,
it's our only link that works continued. So
I'm less than 20 pages away from finishing my current graphic novel, so I'll have more to share about that hopefully in the coming months. But for now, yeah, YouTube is the best place. That and Instagram. I post,
IG.
Yeah, across all three platforms, I post pictures of art and videos of my action figures and that kind of stuff that I'm making. So yeah, check it out.
And you can follow me on Bluesky at Ramon Villalobos, and same on Instagram. You can follow me here on YouTube at this link that you're watching right now, and you can support the show on Patreon.com/ I think Next Funtayo. I linked it down below, but it doesn't link out. You just have to copy and paste it. But if you want to give us $1 or whatever, you can actually read my book Cancel Pig on there. Which if you want to buy a physical copy, you can go to newcoolmeat.com. I was actually surprised. I've made some sales of these. I'm like, I say surprised because I'll be like, oh fuck, I gotta go to the post office. Like this kind of sucks, but I'm happy that people are getting it and wanting to read it, and it means a lot to get any support for this thing.
Yeah, I gotta
It's not
say,
just
like
this, but like everything that we're doing. So
that zine is really, I really love that thing. And there's it's very it's raw comics, it's unfiltered Ramon art and writing, and it's just to me, it's very much the essence of what this stuff is. So and what is it, $5 or something?
It's $5, but it's more with shipping. But if you just want to go on, if you just want to read it, if you're there and you haven't read it, there are definitely ways to do it. If you're on our Discord, you could just read it whenever you want, or it's on you can just ask me. I'll probably send you a PDF if you want it. If you just DM me or whatever.
There's a really cool,
but it's also on the Patreon. You could read the PDF on the Patreon. It's always up there.
Yeah, there's a really cool take on a very famous character in it that I really enjoyed. And
oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. You literally will not see something like that anywhere else. So it's definitely worth it.
Well, you will in the comics the character originally appeared in. You could see stuff like that, but they don't do that no more.
True. Yeah.
But
but it don't look like this.
nah, not like it don't go like this. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the glaze.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean? It's a little bit of like a chill out. Like, you know what I mean?
Never mind, it sucks. Don't read it.
Oh, shout out.
Go watch Batman Begins instead.
No,
It's the
read his
best
books.
Batman
If you
movie.
want to, if you want to spend money on comics, the Kickstarter or his books like Humanoids, you could read them on, buy them on Amazon. Mine's you could basically get it for free if you just ask me, but whatever. Check. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See you next week.
See ya.
Hey, everybody.